Hello, 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 hello. It is Thursday. The work week is almost over. Only one day left. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday so far. And yeah, welcome. Today, my day was pretty enjoyable. And today we're actually gonna do something pretty fun. Today we'll go into a little bit more detail when it comes to rendering, finalizing a model, and overall just preparing a model, or the model that we're currently working on. We're going to prepare it for the render and then for the post-processing. As you can see right there, the 30-minute quick sketch is the first thing that we're going to do. As always, the daily 30-minute quick sketch. We're going to do that first. I already have an idea, which is quite elaborate, so I kind of have to be pretty quick. But there's no need for any, I guess, like environment sculpting or something like that. I try to keep it very, very basic. I'll try to stay close to my usual, I guess, modeling plan when it comes to how I start modeling, or how I want to start modeling. Basically starting with a very basic shapes first, and then we can add more detail the more we go into it. It is a pretty big scene, but yeah, we'll get through. Hopefully I can have a pretty clear image in my head. Hopefully I can actually do it. And then we're gonna go back to the MSI Creator Award, of course. And as I said before, we're gonna go into the preparation for the render. I'm gonna render it tomorrow so that we can then on Saturday finish the render, or no, that we can then do post-production on Saturday, which means today we're going to go into some more tips and tricks and just settings overall that I set, basically my workflow, to finish a model so that it is render ready. There are quite a few like small tips and tricks that maybe not everybody knows. I even discovered just this year, maybe even just a few months ago. So yeah, that's what we're going to go into today. We're not only going to do lighting, but also stuff like adding some like dust in the air maybe, or some particles in the air, adding a background to make the image, or like make the render have like a I guess, so that it isn't just like floating in midair. And then we're going to go over all the settings that I said, and then that's going to be it for today then, I think. Or if we have some more time left, we're going to go into the cloth, because the cloth is quite rough. So if we have some more time, we can go into that and add just a little bit more detail, because right now, if you look at it closely, you can see like the edges aren't really like that sharp. They're more like, you can see that they're like smooth or like soft, which I think can be improved by a little bit of sculpting. So that's maybe going to be on the list today as well. Hold on, I want to pull the camera up just a little bit. Come on. There you go. Yeah, okay, that should be enough. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're going to do today. If you're only interested in the first part, or maybe in the second part, I will put timestamps in the description. I have to do that for the last two videos as well, or the last two streams, whatever. I forgot to do that, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. What I usually do is, if you see that before 24 hours after the stream, there's probably not going to be any timestamps. Roughly around like 24 hours later, I'm going to put in the timestamps. So if they're not there yet, I either forgot it again, or I still have to put them in. Or in both cases, I still have to put them in, but maybe you're too early. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. So first of all, of course, we're going to do the 30-minute quick sketch. Ooh. We need Roberto, so I'm going to pull him up. Before I do that, though, I will make a quick or a folder for my new quick sketch, which will be quick sketch number 109. I'm gonna go to Blender. There you go. Already open. Let me just make a quick folder. (109). There you go. Okay. I don't need a material folder. I don't really know why I always try to open one. Okay, there you go. Perfect. So my timer's ready. Let me just quickly pull up Roberto and then we can start basically. As I said before, this idea is quite elaborate, so I kind of have to see how far I get. But yeah. What do we have here? We need... Oh, Roberto, I already forgot. There he is. Base mesh, there you go. Okay, perfect. Okay, Roberto's ready. My timer's ready. We don't need this. We don't need this. There you go. I think we're ready. So without further ado, I would say we go straight into the quick sketch so that we have as much time as possible to work on the MSI Creator Award, to hopefully finish it on Saturday. Maybe I'm gonna do some, I guess, some off-stream work on Friday, just like a small, I don't know, if I even do that, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, we're gonna do the quick sketch now. I'm ready. The timer's ready. Blender's ready. Hopefully you're ready as well. Roberto's definitely ready. So I would say we can start the quick sketch. Let's start there. Okay, perfect. So I would say 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. Okay, I have to be quick for this one, of course, as I said before. It's quite elaborate what I want to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna give this a subdivision. There you go. We will also give this 2 cuts right there and 2 cuts right there. We're gonna remove these vertices. We're gonna remove these ones as well. There you go. Look at that. It looks kind of interesting. I wanted to make this more round, and also I want to push this further out. Oh, there you go. Gonna pull this further as well. Scale it on the y-axis. We have a nice hallway. There you go. This one doesn't have to be that long. Maybe we can pull it. Oh, only this one all the way to here. There you go. We can maybe even give it like a heart. Okay, well, that doesn't work. Maybe we could just give it like this cut right there, so it ends right there. Next up, what we need is we need a solidify modifier. There you go. We can keep it at 1. We also need an array modifier. Set that over there, which looks kind of weird. So what we have to do, we have to put it to 0 on the x-axis, 1 on the z-axis, which means it goes up, but I want to make it, you know what, it can actually go up. We need an empty. There you go. Okay, perfect. Now what we need to do is we have to set it from relative offset to object offset. Object, which object? The new empty. Which one is it? Plain, no empty. Okay, hold on. Yeah, it's right there. We're just gonna select it right here, empty. There you go. Which means if we now use this, we can pull it higher or lower. Can we? Apparently not. Hold on. What is going on? Where's my empty? There you go. Why is it? Oh, it's just super small. Okay. Interesting. I guess we're just gonna make it bigger, but that's actually pretty good. Okay, we're gonna pull it down just so it's right on top there. Gonna scale it up, scale it wide, I mean longer. There you go. We're gonna do a few more arrays, maybe like this. Look at that. A few steps right there. That's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. So next up, what we need is we need a cube. That's pretty simple. We're gonna make it wider. We're gonna fit it right onto this width. Maybe even a little bit smaller. Maybe like this. We're gonna of course make it thinner. There you go. Very, very thin. Very, very thin. There you go. We're gonna pull it up and we're gonna put it right onto the edge. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Move it a little bit closer. There you go. We then need an array modifier. Another one. There you go. Array modifiers are just powerful for all these quick sketches. We're gonna set it to 1 on the Y and then also 1 on the Z axis. We're gonna increase the count. There you go. This actually looks pretty good. But what I want to do is I want to pull this a little bit further out. There you go. I want to make these steps a little bit wider. I think that's better. Yeah. There you go. Okay, perfect. We can always increase more, but that's not the focus right now. What I want to bring in now is I want to bring in there you go. Select both sides. You know what? No, I'm gonna cut it right there. Remove this side. Remove these faces. We're gonna then go ahead and use a mirror modifier. There you go. Now we can just work on one side and it's gonna apply the same to the other side. There you go. We're gonna pull this up. We will extrude it up and also extrude it down. All the way down. We need enough. You can see they're gonna go higher and higher and higher, so we have to do a few changes to the factor, especially in the z-axis, so they all come back down. There you go. Look at that. Okay, now we have these nice stairs. What I also want to do is I want to pull this up like this. There you go. Just so they have this nice slope right there. Perfect. Okay, now we need a something, I guess, in the back. So what I'm going to use is a cube. Where's my cube? There it is. Actually, should I use a cube? Yeah. Gonna pull it right here. Pull it all the way to the back. I'm gonna make a wall. So I'm gonna make this quite thin, or rather thin, not like super thin, but so that there's enough room to put in a Boolean modifier. We're gonna make it wider. There you go. So we have a nice wall right there. And then what we need, we have 24 minutes left. Perfect. We're gonna need another cube. There you go. Pull it all the way back here. Pull it up. We will make it longer, so it fits all the way through, so it pokes through basically. There you go. We will also go in here, make the array, or now align it on the y-axis so they're exactly the same width. There you go. We then go ahead and apply a Boolean modifier, so we actually have like a hole where you can see the cube poking through. You cannot see the hole because the cube is just like not see-through. Now we can see through. There you go. We're gonna make it go ahead and scale it wider. There you go. Now we have a nice door. We're gonna make, of course, we're gonna do a few changes. First of all, I'm gonna pull it up. There you go. Also, what I want to do is I want to bevel this. I'm gonna grab these two. You know what? No, I'm gonna make a cut right there. Now I will pull these two down right there, bevel them. Ooh. Give it a nice profile. There you go. Okay, look at that. Now we have a nice door. Exactly what I wanted. What we also need is some sort of decoration, I guess. What we can do is we can go in here and do some, I guess, yeah, do maybe one right there. We select these faces. Oh, that's not the face that I needed. We can then extrude them along normals, make them a little bit wider. Okay, we can even get this weird corner right there. We could even use that. Looks pretty cool. Give it like a little more detail. Like, yeah, we add one more. Make another extrusion. Oh, maybe this one can be wider. There you go. Let's do one more. Grab it. Extrude along normals. Wait. It goes back in now. Okay, hold on. I want to remove these two. That's better. Extrude along normal. This one can be wider. Let's do one more. Nope, that's the wrong one. There you go. Let's do one more extrusion. Remove these faces on the inside. Bring this one back. There you go. extrude along normals. Let's do one more. There you go. Okay, well now we just have a little bit more detail on this door. We could also make this bigger if you want to, but I want to keep it like this. Maybe we could make it a little bit longer, I mean higher. You have to make sure that it's aligning on the bottom right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull everything forward. There you go. And now it's aligned. Pull it up a little bit. There you go. Perfect. Okay, now we have a door. We could probably even use this for some sort of decoration. Maybe pull it to the side. We could then maybe push this back in. We grab the face. There you go. Pull it in. There you go. Then we can do another boolean. Booleany. There you go. Zip. Move it all the way in here. We have another hole. We can maybe make this even bigger. There you go. We can pull it out a little bit. Okay. Maybe do one more on the other side as well. What we can do is we can select this object. We can then say mirror, which we're going to mirror is this object right there in the center. So we have both on like both sides. There you go. I also want to bring in a pillar. So I'm going to grab a cylinder, pull it all the way back. There you go. We're going to move it up by 1, so the pivot point is at the bottom. So if we scale it up, it goes just all the way up. Perfect. We have to make it higher, also thinner, so it fits right in there. Look at that. I also want to bring in 2 cuts right there, scale it up. I want to extrude these faces right here. Can I just extrude them in? Oh, I can. Okay. Maybe like that. Okay. Let's do a few more. Let's do 4. Just like these ones. Extrude along normals. There you go. We use the same mirror modifier. There you go. We have them on both sides. We can maybe even go in here and duplicate them a few more times, just to give it a little bit more detail. Okay, we could probably even go in here and duplicate this one more time, rotate it on the y-axis by 90 degrees, and then pull it all the way up here. There you go. We could then also make it a little bit wider, so it fits all the way into the center. Okay. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to do like a double pillar, I guess, or just like a combination of multiple pillars together, just to make this one a little bit more prominent. There you go. Okay. So let's save real quick. We have 18 minutes left. Okay, should be good enough. Quick sketch day 109. There you go. Okay, we need a floor now, so I'm going to grab a plane, I'm going to make it bigger, and there you go. We have a nice, very simple floor. We're going to make it wider so it fits all the way, like fits the whole, I guess, the whole scene. Now we need Roberto, so let me pull up Roberto. Nope, that's the wrong one, wrong folder. There's Roberto, append. Collection, male human base mesh. There he is. Pull him all the way back here. Okay, so grab this, remove that. We then go in here and move him into the scene. What I actually want to do with him, okay, hold on, maybe that works. So I'm going to give him like a lower resolution first so I can move him easier. And then I want to give him some more detail, I guess. So what I want to do is I want to grab a cylinder first. You know what? I'm going to put the pivot point right here, or the spawn point. So there we go. Pull it up to his face. Make that his helmet. I'm gonna make the bottom part wider just a little bit. I'm gonna bevel the top. Bucket head. Okay, we need less. Cuts right there. There you go. Okay. Also, I want to pull this. No, you know what? I'm just gonna rotate it. There you go. Okay. I'm gonna put in one cut right there. Welcome back, Vicente. Do you by any chance know if you can somehow put some like phrases into like define some phrases in like the Twitch settings that insta ban all the bots? Like want to become famous and then just put that in there and then you can get rid of all the bots immediately. Because they will just get insta banned. Okay, yeah. Might have to check that out at some point. 16 minutes. Mirror, there you go. Yeah. Gonna do some shoulder pads, pretty simple shoulder pads, nothing special. There you go. Okay, it doesn't look too bad, but they're quite far apart. There you go. Okay, we need also probably like a cape. Let's grab a cape real quick. Just a plane, I guess. Rotate it 90 degrees. Pull it up. There you go. Make it smaller. Maybe like this. We can also use a subdivision modifier. We're going to grab a cut, put it up to the top. There you go. We're going to pull this one up so it's shorter. It fits better. Make it a little bit thinner. There you go. Pull it back so it's actually on the back. Pull it behind him so he has this nice little cape. We could probably even put a cut in the center and then pull this one up. Ooh. Give in another cut right there. We give this cape a little bit more shape. Of course, it looks very, very weird, but whatever. We grab one of his hands. The other one can just be right on his body. The other one should be like facing forward, holding something. There you go. I did nothing with my mic. Why? Does it sound different? What is it? I don't think I've changed anything. So maybe there's some sort of software change that has been made automatically. I don't know. There you go. This elbow out. Okay, we need a deeper, maybe because of this the setting for the what is it, drop frame reduction or whatever, I don't know. I need a cylinder. I'm gonna see if I can fix it once I'm done here. Do I sound like an old tree? Like an old magic tree that can talk? Okay. There you go. We need one more piece, which will be a plane. Okay. Weird. I'll check it out when I'm done. Okay. We need some thickness in here, so we do the solidify. There you go, and set it to 0. Yeah. We also can put in the bevel, so we can increase the bevel even more, which doesn't work. Why not? Okay. Weird. Yeah, I haven't changed anything, so I don't know. Maybe I pressed something by accident. Come on. What about vertices? Absolute? Well, absolute doesn't do anything. Well, I'm just gonna leave it there. We don't have too much time to think about the actions we do. Yeah, he's a Mandalorian. This is actually not Roberto. Or, I mean, you could probably say it's Roberto, but this is not the main Roberto. Okay, so we're gonna grab him, duplicate him. We're gonna pull them to the side. There you go. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply everything. So I'm gonna set it to probably 3 or 2 should be enough. Apply. This one is already not applied, of course. This one is perfect. Apply the cloak. Then apply the armature. Unparent and keep transformation. Remove the armature. Then we join everything together. Wait, is this one? Okay, smooth. Okay, well that looks weird. Join, so it's all in one. There you go. Now we can move him. We can then put him into the scene real quick. Before we do that, though, we're gonna need an array modifier. Let's set it to 10. Okay, well that might be too much. What about like 7? We then also need another array modifier. This will probably be pretty laggy. Hopefully it actually works. Maybe like this. We then put him over here. 10 minutes, looking pretty good. We're gonna make him a little bit smaller so he actually fits in here. There you go. We then can go ahead and wait. Oh, there's a flying face, or at least the inner part of a flying face, flying teeth and gum and eyes. Okay. Oh, they're in the ground. There you go. We need 9 minutes. Okay, we need a mirror modifier. There you go. Okay, is that too much? Nope. Let's save real quick. Okay, mirror modifier onto this empty. There you go. Getting kind of laggy. Roberto's just too powerful as always. Okay. Please. Okay. So, you know what we could do? We could probably put in a retopology, but no, I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay, so we need a Roberto now, so I'm just gonna duplicate this dude. His eyes we don't really need. He doesn't need eyes for this. There you go. We have to make him as big as the other dudes. He's quite big right now. There you go. Move him back. Okay, so the camera is not on his head head height, so we have to do a few changes to it. I'm gonna grab this, set it to 30. There you go. Okay, let's position the camera roughly on head height. There you go. It's quite far, like quite close to him. I'm actually gonna put it more to the side. There you go. Move it maybe a little bit further back. Or I'm gonna move this cross right there, this empty a little bit to the side so we can see a little bit more, I guess, of him. He's quite far away, so I'm gonna move him closer so he's in the shot. There you go. I also want to change his pose because his pose is boring. Okay. He's gonna wave. I don't know why, don't ask me. Oh, this is surprisingly smooth right now. I don't know why, but this feels smoother than normal. Maybe because there are no teeth and all that, and no eyes. Ooh. Okay. It's like switching from a 60 Hz monitor to like a 120 to describe it. Okay. There you go. Moving his elbows closer. There you go. That should be good enough. Can we see it actually? Yeah, we can. Okay. His feet can probably be a little bit more, I guess. A little bit more. I guess can require some love as well. Welcome, Gratian. Welcome back. Thanks for joining. We actually, so Roberto's I'm the creator of Roberto. So before I probably like last year in August or something, I started a pretty big project which I stopped or quit or canceled at some point. And the end result was that I had him, like, he was basically the product that was like the so okay, hold on, I want to elaborate a little bit. So I wanted to do like an animation, like a full-on animation, and I needed like two people. I needed a female and a male base mesh. So I started with the male base mesh, which is Roberto. I finished the male base mesh, worked on a little bit more like hair and skin and like clothing. But then I decided to cancel the project because I kind of saw what I wanted to do and how much time that would take. So I decided to rather do a different project rather than working on this super long project for like forever, basically. So yeah, now we have Roberto, which we can use for whatever. And I'm also gonna give him away at some point when we're done with the, probably next week at some point. Maybe I'm gonna do like a quick video showing off Roberto. We could maybe even do, oh yeah, that could be a project for next week. Or yeah, I'm gonna think about that a little bit more, how we could introduce not only color back into the quick sketches, but also how we can show off Roberto at the same time, what he's capable of. Yeah, so he's my spawn. Okay, let me grab this real quick, pull it forward. There you go. I'm gonna make like a small plane in the back. There you go. I'll make it glow because this is going to be the main light source in the scene. There you go. Emission. World. Do we need... I can actually keep this low light in the background. I think that doesn't hurt really. Object emission. But that's not emission. Shader emission. Okay, there you go. Okay, look at that. So I'm going to bring in some more volume. Like a volume cube. I actually want to rethink how I use this, because so I watched a lesson, like a YouTube video about cinematic lighting and how you can, for like still images, create like good lighting to highlight like the focus of the image, and also just like highlight like the different, like generate more depth. The basic takeaway was basically to use lighter tones in the background and darker tones in the foreground, which helps, or which highlights the stuff in the foreground because it's darker, and also shows like depth because the further you go out, the more lighter it gets. So that's what I want to kind of train right now in these quick sketches, kind of creating that effect of lighter in the background, darker in the foreground. I think the problem that I was facing so far was that it was just too much noise, or no, not too much noise, but actually too much here, what is it, the too much too much fog, I guess, or atmosphere, so that it's so that it's too it gets too muddy in the center. There's no real like distinction. Even the front was very gray instead of very dark. So I want to kind of experiment a little bit more about how I can implement the this volume thingy to make it look more, yeah, more cinematic. Maybe we could make this a little bit smaller to kind of pinpoint the focus. Look at that. So we can already have like a more shiny, or like a more like a shine. Oh, we can make this wider. There you go. Okay, hold on. Save real quick. Yeah. I don't really want to use that in these quick sketches, these custom textures, just because it's so it takes so long to set up a good texture. Otherwise I would probably do it. Okay. I want to put in a few more lights. Hold on. Point light. Where is it? There it is. I want to put this further back. Maybe over here somewhere. Coming from the top. Maybe put it to 1000. Is that too much? Yeah, that's too much. You know what? I'm gonna go to the world and actually remove all light. Zip. And this one can probably be like, I don't know, 500. Yeah, this one was more elaborate in terms of modeling, so I couldn't really spend that much time on the overall lighting. But today we have enough time to work on lighting and improve, or like at least train our lighting, whatever you want to call it, like our lighting of the image creator work model. Okay, save. There you go. Okay, so of course, as always, there's a lot that I would have liked to, you know what? Okay, hold on. There you go. Okay. I cheated, I'm sorry, but I had to do it. Otherwise it was just too boring. Okay. Let's save. There you go. Yeah, that's also what he explained. When there's like an interior scene, what usually in the film industry, for example, what happens is that they use a window. They usually put the people behind or in front of a window, so that the window is very bright, so it shines into the scene that is very dark, which also highlights all the dust in the air, which then creates this fog of whiteness behind the characters, which just lifts them or like highlights them because the background is white or like brighter than the foreground. Okay, there you go. Save. Switch to render. Render result. Okay. Maybe, yeah, I also thought about doing a like a material, how do you call it, like material library, but then I read that in one of the next updates for Cycles or for Blender, there's actually going to be a like an actual library where you can save your materials without having to save them in individual blend files, as far as I understood it. So I'm just waiting for that to then actually create some material, like a material library, because otherwise it's just, yeah, it's just way easier to create like a whole lot of materials that you don't really have to change anymore. You can just put them in and use them. For example, in these scenes, it would be way easier if I would already have like a, I don't know, like a ground like a plastered ground material that I can just apply and don't have to worry about. Now we have, for example, like everything's flat in terms of like textures, but at least we finished the overall idea. Okay, there you go. Oh. Okay. Oh, hold on. That was the low quality render. Why did I save it? Hold on. Okay, so let's do some post-production. Let's make it bigger so we can see it. Okay, so glare. Do we even need glare? This is quite bright already. Yeah, a little bit maybe. It doesn't hurt. I think that's okay. We're gonna do the rest in Photoshop. Okay, let's render. Ta-da. Yeah, so I talked about that a little bit in the beginning as like already. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna go over all the settings that or my workflow to finish a model, kind of to prepare it for the final render. We're gonna study or like explore some different lighting environments or lighting setups so that we can find like the best one for the model to highlight like all the details, all the materials, all the shapes and all that. And then we're also gonna go over like a few tricks, I guess, that I've kind of learned or just that I do to spice up the render. Stuff like putting some grain in the air, like flying dust particles or stuff like that, and also some sort of not really vignette effect, but a background that isn't really like a studio background, that is just like a flat plane, but actually something more, I guess, complex, that can also, that just brings in a little bit of color into the background as well, to not only make it like a plain gray, for example, but actually gives it like a small little a little bit of color. Okay. And then if we have a little bit more time left, we're going to go into the cloth. So if we've finished basically everything, the lighting, the whatever, there's like the all the tricks and tips and tricks, and we still have some time, we're going to go ahead and add some more detail to the cloth, because it looks a little bit, I guess, smoothed out. I think adding a little bit more detail to that could make the lower half more interesting, or I guess just overall better. Okay. So maybe Saturday will actually not be the final day. Maybe on Sunday, because then on Saturday I can maybe work a little bit more on the cloth, depending on how far we get today, to fully finish it. And then on Sunday we can do the final post-production and going over all the other submissions. We'll see. Oh. Okay. Let's go to Photoshop. It's already open, of course. There you go. There it is. Okay, so first of all, we need some darker tones in the foreground. You can see already, like, the background is very, very bright, of course, because of the shining door, but also because, like, there's fog, which is of course brighter the closer it is to the light source, and also the further you look into the fog, the more, I guess, particles are in the air, which means it gets denser, 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 which makes it bright as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and use contrast first. Make the foreground darker and the background wider. No, not wider, but brighter. There you go. You know what? I'm actually kind of curious if selective color correction works better on this, because we can kind of target the dark tones better. So the dark tones get very, like, the black parts get darker, but not the gray tones. If we use these individually, we can kind of more separate these values, meaning I can more easily decide how dark the gray tones should become. And then, of course, I think we don't really have to increase the white, because then we'll just lose some detail in the door. So we're going to leave it at 0. We could maybe even work with both contrast and selective color correction. And then maybe You know what? I want to try something. So I'm going to set this I'm going to convert this to a smart object. And then I can use a filter, which will be a sharpening filter. Just give it this painterly style, basically. You can see what it does. It kind of just grabs all the contours that it can see and kind of increases their contrast. You could do post-processing Blender as well. The problem is every time you change any values in Blender, it has to recalculate everything, which just takes ages sometimes. So in Photoshop, if you already have like the final render, just like as an image, you can do all the changes in real time, which is why I do it in Photoshop. You could probably do everything except maybe filters in Blender as well. But I just want to work in real time, so I use Photoshop. Okay, we're gonna leave it at 175. That's usually what I use. I think it's still you can import back an image, but it's still loading. It's not the real time. Okay. Okay, so that's what we've done on Saturday, no, the last Sunday, where we grabbed the two images from, I can't remember her name, or their name, where we showed off the lens distortion or lens dispersion that you can add in Blender, where we've brought in two of their posts and then added these effects to it. Okay. Oh, we need the texture. There you go. Textures, there you go. Fingerprints. Okay. Yeah, exactly. The long boy with wings and the cloud, the red cloud. Okay. Wait, why is it so... Oh, I know why. There you go. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I like this effect. This what is it? The blur sharpener, whatever effect. It gives it this very painterly style. I can't really explain it. It kind of softens the edges and also make them sharper. I like it. That's the first time I tried it, and it looks pretty good. It just adds a little bit more sharpness to the whole image, which kind of gets lost if you use the denoiser with a low sample rate. We can kind of bring that back with with this filter, which is quite nice. Okay. This one is actually an image that I kind of want to go closer or like more into, kind of just like give it some more detail, but yeah, maybe we could pick that up later. I don't really know. Okay, there you go. Because it has a lot of potential, I guess. We can add so much more detail, so much more density in terms of geometry and all that. But yeah. Okay. Oh, wrong. Which one was it? D? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna import the image. You're gonna see the compilation, and then I'll try to fix my microphone. Is it still weird, or is it like normal now? Am I still a tree? Sitting there in the magical forest. waiting for travelers so I can give them tips how to defeat, I don't know, the big baddie. Okay. Import. Oh, okay. Maybe I hit my second puberty. I don't know. Hold on. Wait, what does that do? I don't want to twist it because then I'm just going to mess everything up. Hold on. So I'm going to press my mute button twice. Let's see if that works. Hello, 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 hello. Probably not, but maybe. Maybe that worked. I don't know. Okay, let's switch back to Blender. Timer, see ya. We don't need you anymore. We don't need the Photoshop file. Yep, I want to save. Okay. This time I'm using the, what is it? The Amsterdam server, working quite well so far. But we'll see. It went up the later it got, so yeah, we'll see. Probably more and more people using whatever it is. the internet service maybe, which I don't know. Okay. Let's open up the file. Okay, there you go. So, I think it is time for the compilation. So I'm going to see you in roughly 3 minutes. And then we're going to go into this, explore some different lighting scenes. And then, yeah, we're going to go deeper into it. Until then, enjoy. There you go. Let's bring back the music. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So, I'm gonna drink something real quick and then we can start. Okay. So, let's see the current status. Oh, what I actually saw while I was making the thumbnail for today's stream. If we go to the compositor, I still have the screenshot node in here. So let me just quickly set up these nodes. We're gonna remove lens distortion for now. We don't need this viewer. Okay. So I'm gonna remove the glare node as well, just so I can bring it back later. I just want to have like a clean plate for the beginning. There you go. Denoising normal, denoising albedo. There you go. Okay. So now that we've finished everything except maybe for the cloth, you could see this part is way more detailed than this side. That's why I kind of want to go into it a little bit more, just maybe refining these edges, make them a little bit more defined. But then everything's fully done. So I think the first thing that I want to do is I want to go over every material real quick and kind of see if we can optimize it, give it some more love maybe, add just a little bit more to it to make it look more, I guess, realistic or more detailed. For example, for this, I guess, transition plate, this golden plate right here, I think one thing that we could add is some sort of hold on, it's lagging. There you go. Please hide it. There you go. A little bit more roughness. It's too clean right now. So you can see these I guess irregularities already, or these bumps, but it's not enough for me. I want to make it look a little bit more I guess broken. Let me just quickly hide a few of these pieces so it's easier to work here. We don't need the arms. Hand cover. Nope. There you go. We don't need the shoulder. Okay, so okay, never mind. Okay, so you can see it has this damage or these bumps, but I think that's not enough. It's too clean, especially if you look from afar. Yeah, it's just there's no grain, there's no I don't know, like just no damage. I guess this you can consider damage, but like scratches, nothing. So I want to just make this a little bit more realistic by giving it a few more settings in the shader, like customize the shader a little bit more. So we have the gold cup shader, perfect. It's already unlinked from the general gold shader. So what we can do first, we can go ahead and maybe change the scale of this textures, because these bumps are quite big right now. So I'm gonna make it smaller. Oh, smaller, not bigger. Okay. I also thought about maybe adding some sort of pattern onto it to give it this Greek theme in here as well. But I don't really know how fast we can either find one of those textures or add it. Okay, I'm gonna look into, like, maybe we can find a few. I'm gonna pull up like a website with free to use images. Maybe we'll find some sort of pattern that we could use and add onto these this gold plate to make it look more detailed. So switch the scene. There you go. Oh, that's the wrong one. There you go. Okay. So the website that I use is Pixels. It works similar to stock image websites, where you can just type in anything that you're looking for, and it's going to give you a lot of images that are free to use. Okay, so what I want to look for, maybe like floral pattern. Let's see. Okay. These ones are more... I don't think they fit that well. I was looking for something more illustrative, like the background right there, for example. We can't really use the background, of course, because it's in the background. It's not really like the main focus. So maybe we'll find something more appropriate. These ones are just photos of, I guess, flowers. Maybe if you just look for patterns, we'll find more. Just looking through a few more. Yeah, I think if we look for something more like pattern, maybe that works. Okay, well, yeah, working. At least we have some, I guess. Oh, this one looks interesting, but that doesn't really fit to the Greek theme. Let's see. Trying to find a flat image, just basically photograph from up top, so it's perfectly flat. We can use as a bump texture. Yeah, to give it more detail. Hopefully we can find some sort of like flower pattern maybe. I have another website that we could use if we can't find anything in here. The other one is a little bit more restricted though, or it's like not as elaborate. So we'll go through this a little bit and maybe we'll find something. I don't think I have a floral pattern in my library, I guess. I would use that if I had one. Doesn't seem like there's anything. What about what is pattern art? Oh, maybe pattern abstract? Nope, that's not what I wanted. They're not really patterns necessarily. Let's call it abstract. Okay, we have these brush strokes, but don't really fit because they're more like a wallpaper. This one looks pretty cool, but it also doesn't really fit necessarily. We have these waves, these flowers. I was looking for more like illustrative flowers, more 2D. Doesn't seem like there's anything appropriate. This one, no. Of course, we don't have to find the perfect image. We can still, I guess, adjust it in Photoshop if we need to. But it seems like there isn't really like even anything that is close to appropriate. So I guess we'll let's try the other website. It is CC Search. We Google something like floral pattern. Maybe there's anything. I think this website shows all the images on the internet that have I guess that are Creative Commons or like DMCA free. Usually they come from Flickr. I don't really know why they are Creative Commons free or DMCA free, copyright free, but yeah, it works. No, not finding what you need. Search other sources. It seems like there's... Oh, okay, well, there's just nothing. Okay, what about pattern? Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's... Oh, no, there are more. We have a nice leather texture that we could use for anything maybe later, but, I mean, we could still grab that later. Okay. I think what I'm looking for is quite specific, so I'm kind of doubting that we're going to find something, I guess, similar. Maybe we could work with procedural textures. Yeah, this doesn't really fit. I mean, if I just Google pattern, I guess it's not like a I can't really expect to find what I need, but I mean, one can hope. Pattern flower. If you don't find anything with this search, I'm just gonna try and use like a procedural texture. Oh. Let's see. Well, doesn't seem like it's really finding anything good, so I'm just gonna, let's see if we can make our own. So let's go back to Blender. Oh, glowing gold right in front of us. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a texture, a procedural texture. I'm just gonna put everything in here, make it nice and clean. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my texture. We could probably use the Musgrave texture, maybe, we'll see. So that's what the Musgrave texture looks like. Maybe we could create some sort of floral patterns out of it. We're gonna do some experiments with this and see if it works. So first of all, we're gonna go through all the settings just to, I guess, explore what we have in, what we can work with. Okay, this one looks interesting. More ridged multifractal, hybrid multifractal. Okay, I think that's the standard. No, FBM is the standard. And then hetero terrain. Isn't really like a big difference between the two, but yeah, okay. So we have detail as well, which I guess gives it more detail, which we can't really see right now. The scale, of course. We have dimension, which gives it I think I can't even really explain what it does, but you can see the effect, which is the most important part. Oh, that's getting quite glowy. Why is it getting so glowy? It's not even, it's just reflective. Whoa. We're going into the portal. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh my god. Zip. Okay, hold on. This doesn't look too bad, actually. We could maybe use this. This has yeah, we'll try. Offset. What does offset do? Oh, dude. It's so bright. Why? There's nothing. Oh, because it's an emission node. That's why. Okay. Dude, I can't even work like that. We should probably use a different texture. What about shader, so we can actually see it, not just pure white. I think diffuse could work. Oh my god, why is it still... What is going on here? Is there something wrong with the material preview? Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay, so that's the base that we have right now. It looks kind of weird, so maybe if we do a few changes, we can make it more, I guess, more florally. Maybe we could use the UV of this object. Of course, we have to set it up first. Should I apply it? Yeah, I'm gonna. Or what about just unwrapping this? What happens? Oh, okay. Oh, we have a few dots now. Okay. We can increase the lacunarity or the offset. I think the offset is what I increase or decrease even to get more of these patterns in there. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. See, we get these nice, interesting lines there. These whatever you want to call them, like these squiggly lines. Think through the dimensions, how we got it, do we? Seems like it. Yeah. Okay. We have lacunarity, lacunarity, which doesn't really help us here. Let's bring it back to 0.8. The scale, maybe a little bit bigger. Okay, we could also plug in another texture into the mapping node to make it even weirder. So if we use, for example, like a noise texture, plug it into the location, you can see what it does. It just, I guess, grabs the values of this noise texture and plugs them or uses them on these the location vectors. So if you change the scale, for example, we can see the look changes. The higher it is, the bigger the, I guess, displacements. I don't think we need that though. What about changing this? That doesn't really look good. No. We could probably put it somewhere else. I'm gonna reset the noise texture though. What about putting it into the rotation? Okay. Scale. No, I rather prefer it like just like this. Well, let's see what it looks like now with if we plug it in. Maybe we could make it a little bit bigger or smaller, or we can move it so that the shape or the texture is more on the edge, so we can actually see it more. There you go. Okay, let's see. So we can use this as a bump map. We have to invert it though. Okay, we have to combine them, of course, the two. We can first of all maybe look how it oh, welcome back, SpongeBob. Hope you had a great day. Thanks for joining. Yeah, we're almost done with the competition submission. We're gonna finish it this week, and then we're gonna work on something else next week. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll see you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Always coming in here with a quick drive-by hello. Okay. So we need a cutter ramp. No, do we? No, we need a inversion. There you go. Invert cutter, height into fact, no, into the cutter, cutter into height. Let's see what the bump map looks like. Okay, we can see nothing. Is it like let's set it to smooth. Okay, so the bump map I think is just too weak right now. So what we can do is we can first of all maybe just change the bump node. We can just grab a new one or just put this back to its original values. It actually doesn't transfer the values. I wonder why. It's just perfectly smooth, although there's a texture applied to it. Distance is at 1. Oh, invert? No. That's weird. Maybe we have to increase the values. Just using a math node to multiply the value. What about putting it to 1000? Hopefully, okay, well, there's something wrong with this texture. Because you can see the oh, okay. Oh, of course, you can see the texture right here. But the texture isn't applied to the bump map. So now we have to kind of figure out a why. Let's see if the other bump map works. Yeah, this one still works. But it's very, very small now. Did I change anything? Something's weird. Oh, because I created UVs, that's why. So we have to bring this back to its original size. If we change the UVs, of course, and we apply the texture to the UVs, the size will change. So to make the texture bigger, we have to pull it into the... make the scale smaller. Okay. Yeah, so my usual workflow to make materials more realistic is first of all to add like a general color, then maybe add a map for the roughness, then add a texture for the roughness, then a texture for the bump, like to add some bumps, and then also maybe use the same texture that I use for bumps for the color, and then maybe even use another texture for discoloration on the same material, to have some discoloration in the color itself. Okay, so the bumps look good. We could maybe increase the strength. That's of course way too strong, so we have to dial it back. 0.25 maybe. That's still too strong. What about 0.1? I think 0.1 is okay. I think that was the original value, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so what I was thinking about maybe adding, maybe we could add this bump map also to the color to make just these deeper spots a little bit darker, to highlight them a little bit more, and yeah, give the whole thing a little bit more detail, make it look more realistic. Right now I'm just kind of trying to figure out why it doesn't really use, or why it doesn't use the Musgrave texture. It's just not gonna be, it's just not recognizing. It's what did I do to you? Okay. I mean, we could also just leave it like completely flat and just add some, I guess, some damage bumps to the surface to make it look more realistic. So the next plan would be to grab the bump texture, add it to the color as well to give it some discoloration in that way. Maybe we'll even add some more discoloration through other means. So we can use this texture. What we have to do is we have to grab another mix RGB to plug that into the color, set it to multiply to make it the color darker, the gold darker, which means on white is perfectly gold, or factor to 1. On white is perfect. On white it is perfectly gold. On black it is black. So if we then plug in the color ramp, or yeah, the color ramp node into the factor, the texture map now works as a mask. So if I increase the blacks, we should see that the cracks get darker, as you can see right there. Of course, they're right now way too dark, so I have to do a few changes. Good thing is now I can just change this color and it's going to be lighter. Maybe like this, just a little bit darker. There you go. We can see what it looks like without, and then with just a little bit more, yeah, discoloration. Okay. Same for this side. We can see, oh, we have to make a UV map as well. Let's just unwrap it. There you go. Okay, so if this material doesn't really work on this small cup on the other side, we're just gonna separate the two materials and create like a new one for this one as well, or just, I guess, adjust it to so that it fits onto the other one as well. There's one thing that I want to add is that I want to add the same bump texture also to the roughness texture, so that these darker tones also are rougher. Right now they're just perfectly smooth, perfectly shiny. Adding this the texture to the roughness as well will make these darker and maybe even dirtier spots a little bit rougher. So we could use color, mix RGB. We could probably do the exact same that we've done for the for the color. But of course, if we make it darker, it's going to be shinier, so we have to do the exact opposite. So we could either do that probably by using maybe divide. I've never really tried lighten, like to brighten something. Let's see if that actually works. Okay. There isn't really like a big difference between the two. This one kind of works. I don't really know why, but it makes it rougher. You can see like the middle, it makes it rougher. Gray, I guess 0.2 gives it more roughness, which is exactly what I wanted. So we could use divide, but we have to work with this value a little bit more, kind of fine tune it so that it's not too rough. It's still supposed to be shiny, but not like perfectly shiny as the rest of the surface. You can see it right here, for example. The rest of the surface is very shiny, but then these spots that are broken off basically are rougher because they're broken off and they diffuse the light instead of just throw it back or reflect it. Okay. Good thing is now if you want to change the texture, we can just go into the mapping node of the aerial asphalt texture, which we use for not only the color, also the roughness, and as a bump. We can just move it and we can change the texture on the shoulder pad. So if you like it more, if we like the texture to be more like this, yeah, we can leave it like this as well. If we don't want to have like this huge cut right in front. I think that looks better. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So what I like to do what I also did with the sculpt texture or material is that I not only added a texture that darkens parts of the material, but I also added parts that lighten up the material. I think that could work here as well. Maybe adding some sort of white to this gold can give it this worn effect maybe. Let's see. So if we add another mix color or mix RGB node, and then we could maybe even create our own procedural texture for the second, I guess, adjustment. We could probably use a noise texture for that. There you go. Of course, it looks kind of weird right now. Let's grab the mapping node. If you have Node Wrangler, the add-on enabled, clicking a node and then pressing T, no, Control T gives you this setup immediately. Otherwise, you would just have to look for all the nodes. Then I want to break down these values like a lot, like black all the way up. So we only have like a few details left, or a few spots left. We can also increase the detail to make it rougher. The contour, I guess. Also bring in some roughness. There you go. Okay. Let's use the UV. Oh, this looks weird. Maybe we shouldn't use the UV. Let's use the regenerated. Okay. Maybe we could use a noise texture in the mapping node. Well, let's see what that does. Okay. Oh, it gives it this. That looks cool. Maybe if we define or like change the settings a little bit. This looks really cool. It looks like stone actually. Look how far how deep you can go into it. This looks really cool. Maybe we could use that. But what I want to do first is I want to make maybe we could even use a color ramp on this node, this noise texture as well. Let's see what it does. Or it changes the position. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna just leave it there. Okay. What about if we switch it to the rotation? Doesn't really do much. Scale. I think location looks the best. Yeah. Okay. So we have a pretty cool damage texture, a procedural damage texture. We can also, of course, fine tune it a little bit more, like reducing or bringing in more of this like black, increasing the whites to make the whites stronger. There you go. Maybe even change the scale because this is quite big right now. Maybe even bringing in a little more of this black. There you go. Now we have a nice scratchy texture with just a few, I guess, damage spots, which can be a little bit brighter. I don't want to put in too much. It always Like the more realistic you want to make an object, the more you have to go into detail, and the smaller the changes are. So I try to be very, very subtle with this. Maybe we've used some distortion. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So now we have a pretty good texture. We can still, I guess, change it, but what I want to do first is I want to plug it into the multiplying or the mix RGB node so we can actually see the changes. We can see them if we put it to black, but that's not really what I wanted in terms of what I want to use the texture for. Of course, I want to make it brighter. So what we have to do is we have to use it for the bright spots. I also want to bring in a little bit more of this white. Otherwise, we don't really see the changes. Oh, there you go. You can see it now. Now we can see it. Yeah, look at that. Gives it this very worn effect. You can see it if I mute it and then bring it back. Hold on. There you go. Mute it. You can see these veins, especially down there. Right there. Oh, yeah. So that's what we can use to lighten the color. So how we do that is probably just by using an add mix mode. Then set it to white or almost white. You can see now it gets brighter. Of course, that is too bright, but of course it's a material, so we can just change all the values and see what we find good, what we think is good. Just a little bit brighter, not like full on white. I think I want to bring in a little bit. I want to rein this in a little bit more. There you go. Then make this white a little bit lower. Okay. There you go. Now we not only have darker spots, we also have brighter spots to make it look kind of worn in different ways. Maybe make it even. There you go. Okay. So let's see if it works for the other side as well. If not, we're just gonna separate the two materials and create a separate one for this one. I think the scale looks okay. Are there any white spots on here? I think you can see them. Yeah, you can. I think that's okay. We can leave it like this. Okay. Let's save real quick. Okay, so I'm not going to apply the same, I guess, discolorations to the leaves. I think the leaves already have a similar effect on them, like this dark color that we've applied. So I'm just going to leave them alone. We have the arms. We could maybe add some more detail, although I don't really know if we can actually see it because it's so white. Usually on white surfaces you don't really see displacements that well. Maybe we could add some discoloration, although just very subtle, because the arms are supposed to look very new, like factory new basically, if you want to talk in terms of CSGO skin terms. Let's bring back the arm, maybe the shoulder first. Okay, there it is. It is very, very clean right now. I think like a small displacement doesn't hurt. We could maybe even just copy this one. Oh, copy this to this one as well. Oh, there's even a, oh yeah, that's the displacement of the lines, right? Okay, let's add the discoloration first. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm in the wrong shader. Yeah, so the beginning of this process will be to, I guess, finalize all the shaders, make them look, give them just a little bit more love. And then we're going to go over to the lighting. I was kind of thinking maybe using an HDRI as the base and then giving it more like set the focus a little bit more by using manual lamps. That could be a good mix that we could use, or we just look up a few like different lighting setups and use them, or like try them out ourselves. I'm not an expert in terms of lighting, so we can explore the Mars like together. There it is. Okay. So where do we have the color? There it is. Okay. So what if we need is a white? No, we don't. We can just set this to white. Okay, so. Oh. You know what? Ah, never mind. I was kind of thinking maybe we could add some scratches that are also gold. So you can see someone cut into the cover, and underneath the cover is another layer of gold. That could be cool. But maybe we could go too overboard with that. We'll see. So now we've added the texture for the displacement. I mean the I guess the roughness. You can see because we changed the UVs, it is like stretched all the way to the bottom. That's just how the UVs are set up. Maybe we could change a different mapping or texture coordinate setting. Not the UV, but actually like something else. Let's see what else we have here. What about generated? Oh, it actually works. Okay. So now we can see the texture is actually not it is not stretched. It is perfectly straight. So if we now go in here and change this color, we can see we can even add more grunge, or we could remove grunge. I think this adds a little bit more flair and makes it look, it just grounds the material into the real world a little bit more. No material is perfectly clean. If you've ever seen, what is it? WALL-E, Eve is coming to Earth and immediately she gets dirty. That's how you can kind of see it. She's like perfect before because she was in space before, where there's like no dirt maybe. And then she's coming back to the Earth to kind of investigate, and then covers herself in some dirt. Okay, so let's see. We can probably make this lighter. It should be very subtle, just like a very slight changes. Maybe we could even add the texture as a bump map as well. We have to mix it with the current bump map. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use cutter, mix RGB, put that in there. Set it to multiply so we can mix the two materials. I'm gonna save real quick. Okay. Yeah, if you ever need like a grunge map, like a good, I guess, alternative to like an actual grunge map is probably an asphalt, like, yeah, an asphalt texture. You can find a lot of textures on Texture Haven. They are all very good, even ranging from 1K to I think 4 or even like 6 or 8K. I don't even know. So yeah, if you ever need like free textures, you can go there. You can also go to Polygon. If you make an account, you can get some free textures. It is more like a paid platform, so you can pay for materials, object, or like models. Materials, for example, but you can also get some for free. Okay, is there like a bump now? I can't really see it. If there is, it's too subtle. I don't see it. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. I think I want to make it lighter. It's too dark right now. I want to keep it very subtle, the color change. So maybe like, you can see now these small little scratches in the gold. Yeah, which just gives it a little bit more. Yeah, it grounds it a little bit more. It's not like perfectly straight gold. It is a little bit damaged. I think that's okay. If we go closer, we can see the changes. If we go further away, we don't really see them that well, but they're still there, so they affect the look overall. Even if you look from afar, I think that's looking pretty good. So we're going to apply the same, I guess, node setup to all the rest. like the rest of the materials for the arm. And then the arm looks pretty good. Maybe, oh, hold on. Could we could maybe add scratches as well, but I think I want to keep it very clean, so I'm just only gonna add this asphalt texture to add some grunge, nothing else. Otherwise I think it's gonna be too dirty. Too dirty. Let me go here. Okay, we're gonna do the same setup. I think the grunge map is too big for this part. Of course, we have to do like adjustments for every single one of them, but that shouldn't be like a huge problem. Okay. I think it's too big, so I'm gonna make it smaller. I mean, bigger, actually, not smaller. Yeah, I think if you want, you can like go deeper and deeper and deeper and add more and more detail, more and more, I guess. You could do more and more to make it maybe like a 1% more realistic. But at some point you kind of have to decide whether or not you want to actually like spend more time on it or just like go ahead and finish it. Because at some point you kind of just get lost and you don't really, like, you're the only one that really sees the changes. So you shouldn't go overboard. Getting kind of laggy. I don't really know why. Maybe because of all the changes. I'm gonna save real quick. There you go. Wait, hold on. Seems like... No, okay. Somehow I thought that even although I set it to random, the same songs play after each other. Like after another. I don't know if that's just like my imagination or... I don't know, maybe I've just heard all of them so much that I just think like, oh, I heard that one before. And I thought they would be in the same order. I don't know. Okay. Let's copy this over to the other side. That's the problem with my... Yeah, do you hear it as well? It's like it's not random, but it's set to random. That's the same with the YouTube playlist of mine. I have like 400 or like maybe even 500 songs in my YouTube playlist. And I would... Oh, it added... What? That worked? Okay. It added... Yeah, exactly. It's not actually random. It's just like, I guess... Yeah, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's weird. Oh, I actually I had an idea for the muscles. We could maybe even give this muscle or the muscles like a better end because they connect to the gold. We could give them like a gold edge on the end to make it merge better or like connect better to the gold piece. That could work. Just to connect the two pieces better. Yeah, it's weird. It's like... Even on my YouTube playlist, the weird thing about my YouTube playlist is what I do is I would set it to random and then I would just hit play, and at some point it would either just play a song and then start the next song, but it's the same song. Then I would recognize that it's the same song. I would say, okay, let's play this song. Then it plays the song all the way through, and then it plays the song before again. And sometimes... And also the problem is, probably there's just some sort of limitation in terms of the YouTube playlist function. Sometimes if I play too many songs, or yeah, if I play songs, it doesn't choose all the songs to switch between. It only chooses a certain selection, probably all of them that you've loaded in your browser. So I think there's a certain selection that is always loaded. or that is ready to be played as a random selection, or random in terms of like fictional random, and it chooses between a certain range. It doesn't choose between all of them, it only chooses between a certain range. I think it's somewhere between like 100 and 150 songs can be played, or can be, I guess, in the cache or whatever. You know what we could do? We could add one more object to the back here to give it like a cover for the muscles. Although, I don't know. Because they just go into the gold piece right now, which looks kind of weird. You can see how deep they go. I don't really know why. This piece isn't that thick, so maybe they've moved? I don't know. We could probably adjust them. But yeah, the random that is not so random and so weird. Yeah, let's adjust them. Sometimes I like think, okay, well, now this melody is gonna play, and then the melody is gonna play. It's like, it's just predetermined somehow. I wonder why. If it's like a bug, or if it's just like a programming, like how randomness is programmed, that it's just gonna play the song that has a certain, I don't know. Because, yeah, I mean, if you program, can you really create a random, like a fully random selection, or do you rather just, I don't know. Because isn't programming like binary? I guess there are these commands that can create like a random value, but are they really random, or is there more like a formula behind it? Because how are they selected randomly? A computer has to make like a conscious decision on which value he's going to choose. So there has to be like a formula behind it. And maybe the formula kind of just bugs at some point and you get the same value over and over again, or I don't know. Definitely weird. There you go. Okay. I always wondered why why people use Spotify instead of YouTube. I guess on Spotify you just have like all the songs and like it's their original version, like the artists upload their songs, like their original songs, rather than just, I guess, rip-offs. But then you also have like artists' YouTube channels that actually upload their songs on YouTube as well. So I'm also always wondering why you would pay for Spotify when you could just use YouTube. That's why I've started making like a playlist, I don't know, 5 years ago or so. It's actually funny to look at my playlist. Let me quickly see how. So every time I pull up my playlist, or sometimes I see there's like a click count, similar to just looking at videos, how much they've been clicked. My playlist has been, I guess, opened or like, yeah, watched 15,770 times. I wonder if that's just me, and every time I watch a video in that playlist, it's gonna count as a view, or if that is like a person looking into my playlist and maybe playing a song or just looking into it. I wonder how that works. I think rather it is like 15,000 times I've played a video that is in the playlist itself. Oh. Okay, now we've fixed the muscles. Perfect. So what were we doing? I can't remember. I think we... Wait. I got distracted with these muscles, but what did we do before that? I can't remember. Ah, never mind. I'm gonna go in here and change the muscle. Good thing is all the muscles have the same shader on it, so I don't have to... I only have to change one, and it's gonna change all of them. So I was thinking about adding a cover to these muscles, but I think I can avoid adding one more, like another object, by just going into the shader and making like a gold cap on the two edges, or like end on the two ends, to kind of transition this purple muscle, yeah, from this purple muscle to the gold material. So where's my border? That's the first texture. Which one's the wave texture that I need? No, I need a gradient texture. This one? Yeah, no, it's this one. This one, right? Yeah. Please. The fish reminds me of the yellow fish in Nemo that is always obsessed with its bubbles. I actually want to see if I can increase the strength or like the size of this fiber. Otherwise it looks very, very, I guess, hollow. I don't really know which one it was. Oh, this one. Ah, there you go. Yeah, that's way better. It was so small. Yeah. Look at that. That's way better. Now it actually has some density, or some... Yeah, it's denser, so we can not just see through the further we go away. Or we go, yeah, whatever. Okay, so... I want to grab this texture, this gradient texture. I actually need another color ramp, so we can just duplicate this one. We have to change... Oh no, we can actually grab this one. We don't need to mix the two. We can just plug this into the add. You can see now the end border has been cut, which we will still use it or bring it back, but we need to change how we're going to use it. So what we need to do, we have to bring the gold texture or gold shader into this shader, so that we can then use the border texture that we used to create this purple border as a mask for the gold shader. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to this one, select the gold. Actually, no, I'm going to go to this piece, because this one has actually, I actually forgot to change this one. This one is actually wrong. This one, I forgot to change the back. This one has to change, this one has to have a different back shader. The gold, the pure gold, of course. Ooh, we almost forgot. Okay, let's make a new one. Assign, grab the gold, cover gold, there you go. There you go, that's what it's supposed to look like. We can now actually go into the shader of, like the gold shader, and just copy everything. Copy. Let's bring everything back. Now we go to the muscle. We need the texture is already, I guess, set up to be used as a mask. Now we combine the two principal BSDF shaders by using a mix shader. Put both principal BSDF shader in there. Then we can use this color ramp as a mask. You can see how they look. You can see these white bars right there. That means if we add color to the factor, There you go. I want to do a few adjustments. First of all, the cap is actually not gold. I want to see if I can change that. I actually want to increase the width on this, I guess, cap in the end as well, just a little bit. There you go. Yeah. The only problem is now that the cap isn't gold. I wonder if you can change that. You can, but you kind of have to find where this cap grabs the color from, or where the cap is in terms of the UV map. So we probably have to do a few experiments. What we could do is we could just duplicate this and then play around with these handles to kind of find where it is. Oh, it just fills itself up. Well, that's bad. So we have to cover the whole thing. Well, that doesn't work. Okay, well that I guess. So I guess the cover just has to be, or the cap just has to be purple then. But what we could do is we could also add this this mask as a bump map to make a height difference, to make the cap like thicker than the gold. So we have to add it to this texture. I mean, to the other bump map. So we have to move it. I'm going to add a few layout reroute points so we can move it all the way down. We can move them, these reroute points, by pressing G to grab, which doesn't work. Oh, we have to select it. There you go. We can grab it. If we just want to move it by using left click, it doesn't work because we grab another like arm. Moving it by G works though. I need a few more, so I'm going to duplicate it, moving it all the way down. It is kind of messy, the node setup, but if you want to clean it up later, we can still do that. Okay, so let's add it to this bump map. We need a mix RGB. Put it to multiply, plug in the texture, set it to 1. Do we have to invert it? No, we don't. But it doesn't work. Why not? Maybe if we... Hold on, I have an idea. Okay, well, that doesn't work. I had the idea of just pushing... Wait, what does it do? Is it inverted? No. Maybe the mix mode is wrong. Hold on. So, what do we want to do? We want to push everything up so that... Do we even need like the grunge map on there? I don't really know. Let's remove it and just test it out without the roughness map. Even this doesn't work. What about putting it to strength 1? No. That's weird. I wonder why. I mean, it would be like a small little detail, but we don't have to do it. I would like to do it, so I'm gonna try like a few more minutes. If it doesn't work, then we're not gonna do it. What if we invert it? Well, that doesn't work either. I wonder why. There's nothing wrong with the texture. Texture discrimination here. What's going on? Is it is there a problem with linear textures? Maybe they're too linear? I don't know. It's weird. What if we use a displacement? Let's see. You can, if you want to have a second, I guess, bump map applied to the material and you don't want to use displacements, you can also just use a displacement map. just like a bump map. It basically just imitates bumps if you don't tell the shader that it's supposed to use the displacement in terms of moving geometry. If you don't like enable the setting, it's just going to use it. It's just going to use the displacement texture as a bump map, which doesn't work. Perfect. Well, apparently it doesn't work. Well, let's just leave it out. I think it looks good and good enough already. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it just gives it this nice transition between the two. Between the two materials. Yeah, that's better than just like purple merging into gold. Okay, perfect. So now I want to add some grunge to the rest of the white parts, and then I think we're ready to do some lighting. Where's my grunge? There it is. Copy. We need arm hand cover. We could probably start with the hand cover. Okay, so there's the cover. Oh, they don't even have the same material, so we have to actually put it on first. It is cover shoulder mid. Oh, maybe you don't even have to do anything. We just have to go in here and use the cover material. Remove it. We'll just call it cover and 1. Of course, we have to always just remove the material from the previous one if you link it, or grab the material from another object. Otherwise, we're just gonna mess up the material for the other project, the other object. No, I want to use. No, never mind. Okay. So we have to remove the gold because there's no gold. We already applied the gold with I guess, using the vertices or the geometry itself. What is that? Huh. Where's the black coming from? Oh. There you go. We don't need this texture as well. There you go. So if we prepare one of these hand materials, we can just apply to all of them. Can we use the UV on here? No. We could use generated, or we could just, I guess, unwrap it. Then use UV. Wait, what? Why is it so weird? Oh, because I have to change a few. I have to bring in some cuts right here. Because we applied all the... No, I haven't tried it yet. I have it on my phone, so I'll always see it. But I just have to... I could probably do that tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna stream, so I have some more time to do other stuff. So I'm probably gonna try and set up the phone app. Is there something, like a feature that you want me to use? Or just in general, like, to have it? Okay. There you go, that's better. Okay. It's crazy how different people are, or how different people use their phones, or how they treat their phones rather. Some people like buy a new phone every year. Some people buy, like, for me, for example, I have the same phone since like 4 years ago or so. I have a Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, which is still perfect. No problems. What do you mean? It uses Android, yeah. Why? Is there something I don't know. Why do you ask? Or what do you mean with you thought so and so? What do I need? Cover hand. What is that? Cover hand 1, okay. Where's my cover hand 1? There it is. Yeah, it uses Android. I don't know which version, but yeah, it uses Android. I've never had an iPhone. You can use your phone app on Windows to display and control your Samsung Android app. Okay. You can use your oh no, hold on. So what you mean is I should install? No, that doesn't make sense. Do you mean I should connect my phone to my PC so I can use my PC to remotely use my phone and access the app? That sounds kind of weird. I don't think that's what you mean. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that tomorrow. This week will be like a, I guess, logistical weekend, kind of thinking about a few different things, and then next week will be a little bit different. Cover. What is it? Cover hand. So yeah, I'm gonna probably use that. Oh yeah, I mean, does it really make a difference whether I use my PC or my phone? I don't know. I feel like it would be faster just using the phone, because like if I use my phone, there is like a connection problem or whatever. Oh, it's not supported. Okay, well, we tried. Yeah, I'm gonna look into some tech over the weekend. So yeah, I think we're gonna finish the model on Saturday, so I have like a full Sunday to work on other stuff. Yeah, we'll try it on on the weekend. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just gonna plan later. I want to focus on this now. I want to be quite quick so we have some more time for the lighting as well. Okay. Let's just do the major parts. The other ones you're not going to see anyway. Especially these smaller, like, bump thingies. Wrap. There you go. We need the first texture. What does it cover? Hand 5. Looks pretty okay. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna do any more changes. This one is actually textured, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, so we can actually plug it in here. Oh, that's the wrong. That's the wrong one. Wait, is it? No, it is. It's not. Hold on. Color in there. There you go. We have some grunge on the thingies. Let's do the rest. Oh, this one's textures as well. I mean, unwrapped. Perfect. We just have to copy it and plug it into the color. The same with this one. Going pretty fast. Zip. We have one more that we have to unwrap. Okay. Cover hand 5. Does that work? Yeah, looks pretty good. Air conditioner. Do you mean for, I guess, good smelling air, or is it more for just to keep it cool or warm? No, isn't that a, what is the other one called? No, not AOC. It's I don't know. Hold on, let me see what it... No, I mean, right now it's pretty cold. But if it gets warmer, good thing is, like, I think usually we don't really have air conditioning in our houses. I've never seen one. What we usually just do is we grab like a ventilator and then just use that rather than having like a full system to cool the whole house. Good thing with my room is that it's only that the sun is only shining into my room in the morning, so it's not really going to heat up as much as if you would like live right under the roof, for example. Oh, so I have a quite fortunate spot here. Yeah, but we would just use ventilators, for example, to do that, to cool ourselves. I wonder why. I know that it's more common in America, I think, to have like a full-on system to cool your house. But yeah, we don't really have that. I wonder why. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, not as commercially I don't know, influential or whatever. Or not as... Maybe the industry, the air conditioner industry isn't really that interested in Germany. Yeah, probably. Oh, yeah, probably also because it's not getting as hot as in Texas, for example. It's crazy. It's like either you have, it's like America is like, so for example in Australia it gets very, very, very warm, similar to America. But I think in America, maybe it's region dependent, but in America it seems like it does not only get very, very warm, but it also gets very, very cold. So you have like 3 meters of snow in some areas. I wonder if these areas that get very, very cold also get very, very warm, or if some areas get very, very warm and some areas don't. For example, in Germany, you maybe have like, well, I only have degrees, hold on. So I think the highest that I would say we ever had, okay, hold on. Let's see what the maximum is for our maximum temperature. In Germany. 40 degrees, which is 104 Fahrenheit. Let's say in America, whole America, hottest places in the United States. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, in America, the highest temperature ever recorded is 56.7 degrees Celsius, 134 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, that's... I can't remember how it works. If it's similar to... Doesn't heat work similar to to music, where if you change the audio level, not is it the level, like the volume, by -10 or -6 and +6 decibel, you double the volume. It's like a logarithmic I guess system. Yeah, that's also true. But I wonder if, isn't that the same with heat as well? Heat kind of gets hotter, like just 10 degrees is almost like double the temperature. I don't know. Cover hand, there you go. For what about that? Okay. Oh, what is going on here? Oh, I changed the different, the other material. Okay. Oh, I have to unwrap them as well. Welcome, May-Sor. I try to bake from camera texture coordinate to the same UV, but every time I fail. Do you mean... Oh, you mean when you use the, what is it, texture coordinate camera, and then you try to bake the texture onto like an image, or like onto a texture? I think I've never tried that. I mean, it should, I don't know. I think there's an easy way to do it. You don't even have to bake it. You could do it without baking, I think. You could, for example, if you have node wrangler enabled and you just wanna, for example, right now you have this texture on this, wait, no, you have to bake. But what you have to do is you have to use the shift and control texture look. So now it's like the pure texture, and then you have to bake it. I wonder, yeah, what's the problem? What happens if you do that? Does it just distort the texture, or what happens? I baked textures that way before, or not like using the camera setting, but other ones. It worked it worked, but maybe there's some sort of like technical problem with using the camera position or camera view as your texture coordinate. I don't know. I mean, if the setting's there, then it should probably work, so I don't know. I'm curious what happens if you try. Oh, the either it's just so. Okay, yeah, the Norwegian server for streaming it seems to be pretty good. So far we're at 0.4% drop frames. So far the best one we had so far. So far. Yeah. Maybe we'll just stay here until it gets worse, or I'll just go through all of them to kind of see, yeah, to just get a grasp on all of them, or like just to test all of them. I wonder what I should do. Oh yeah, student's gonna be doomsday. But even before it like dipped hardcore, it was already at like 3% or so, I think. Oh yeah, okay. There you go. I'm streaming. So this week I'm probably gonna stream Saturday, maybe Sunday. Saturday definitely. But usually I stream, as you can, I think you can see it down there as well. There you go. When this is over. Hold on. There it is. Schedule Monday to Thursday. That's the regular, I guess, schedule. 6:30 p.m. UTC. I don't know what that is in your own time zone, but yeah. I saw a small blip exactly when it hit 10 p.m. but now it's back to normal. I don't know. So yeah, this week we're gonna finish this project, and then next week we're gonna go into different topics. Not just working on one project, but actually working on probably like having a different topic every day. 14-second delay right now. Wait, what? Is there some sort of way how I can reset it? I don't know. Probably not. Please just let me select this edge. Maybe it will recover the longer it goes, because yeah, it seems to be stable now. Maybe it'll recover over time, hopefully, because it went from what is it, 0.3% to 0.5, so there must be quite a few drop frames for like a quick, like for a short amount of time. Oh, this one's actually perfect. Oh, it's already there. Okay. Are those applied to this side as well? That's the question now. It is. Is it? Yeah, it is. Perfect. Yeah, that's... I think... we could maybe... oh. So... yeah, I've done texture baking before for one of my like if I want to, I guess, texture, like create a texture out of a procedural texture. We could maybe look into baking a little bit more. I've never really, I've done it once, but I can't really I guess recreate it out of my head, like out of memory. So I would have to look up how you do it. But it shouldn't be a big problem to figure it out. I think it's pretty simple. What happens if you try to bake? What's the texture looking like? Is it just black? Is it just white? Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's good. Only time I've tried it was with like definitive, I guess, texture coordinates. Maybe, I don't know. Did you bake them while you were in the camera view, or were you like somewhere else? Oh, you mean you wanted to unwrap this piece? So what you do is you go here and then just say project from view, and then you get this weird projection. Sometimes I try to bake from camera texture, from, yeah, texture coordinate to the same UV. So what happens if you, or what do you mean with you fail? Is there like, does the texture look weird? Does it not look like how it's supposed to? Or is there a different problem? Okay. Because I think if you can give me a little bit more detail, maybe we can figure it out now. Maybe I had like a similar problem that I was able to solve that you could try as well. Oh, this one down here. Oh, it's already plugged in. Okay. I'm just gonna leave it like this. I think that's okay. Let's see the other arm. Is it applied here as well? It is. Okay, we only have to change these two because these two are unique. Okay. Maybe there's just like a technical bug that doesn't really, like, can't really, like the baking, I don't know, like the baking algorithm can't pick up like the texture coordinate that you applied to the object. I don't know. Okay. So we've given these textures a little bit more detail. So I think everything's done now in terms of materials. The muscles look more detailed. Okay, so I did smart unwrap. Okay, yeah. And I have to apply an image pattern from camera coordinate. Okay, so let's replicate the scene. Hold on, I'm gonna save this real quick. Let's make a new scene. New. Okay, so you have a sphere. You have your camera. Hold on, I'm gonna make a new camera. Let's place the camera somewhere here so we don't have like a straight view. Where's the camera? There it is. So that's the camera. Okay, so we place it somewhere over here. Then if you make a new material, let's call it absolute trash. I know that I can delete it. Okay, let's grab a quick texture. You know what? I can just grab, I guess, a noise texture. No, let's use magic. Okay, that's what it looks like. So then you use mapping with camera. So it looks like this, I guess. That's what you use. And if you rotate the camera, nothing should happen. Yeah, it looks exactly the same from every angle because the camera is defining how the texture looks. Oh, okay, an image. Okay. Then let's grab an image. What about this one? Oh, well, that looks weird. Okay, now we have an image. That's a render that I did. And it looks exactly the same from every... Okay, so you want to bake it like that. How do you bake again? Isn't there some... No, it's in the output, right? It's down here, right? There's a bake setting. Wait, I'm in Eevee. Wait, why am I in Eevee? Oh, I know why, because it's a new scene. There it is. So you need... Oh yeah, okay, so you use this, set it to the viewer node, or you just use like a shader emission node. That's the exact same. The viewer node is just like an emission node, and then you click like remove everything except for emit. Bake from multiple bake type. Emit. Or you can leave it at... No, let's do that. Bake from multi-res, nope. Oh, we have to unwrap this, I think. I think it's already unwrapped, is it? Yeah, it's already unwrapped, okay. Do we have to make a new... Oh, yeah. So you have to make a new texture, image texture. This one will be... Let's set it to... test... Bake... It's 1024 by 1024. Okay, we select this texture and we say select it to active. Yeah, bake. Now it's baking. Let's see if it works. Okay, now it baked the texture. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, okay. So now if we use this texture, I guess we have to use UV for this mapping node. Yeah, for this UV, there you go. Let's go back to the render. Plug that in. There you go. Now if we move the camera, hopefully it works. Yeah, there you go. That's is that what you wanted? Maybe there were like a few changes that were different from mine. Okay, so yeah, let's go through it again. So just so we can maybe discover the problem. So what you use is a your texture, which looks like this. You had it on camera, so the camera sees this texture. Despite being moved, it's always going to be the same look. You use, if you have Node Wrangler enabled, which is an add-on, you can just you go to edit preferences and then add-ons. You can look for Node Wrangler. If you have it enabled, you press Shift Control on this texture to grab the viewer node, which basically just shows you the pure texture like this. Otherwise it would look like, I think, like for example, if you use the shader, you would have some I guess some glowiness in there, or some reflections. That's why you use the viewer node. You go to bake, of course in cycles, bake type emit, because this is a emission node, and then you hit bake. Oh, you have to create a new texture. You have to make sure that your object is unwrapped. So the sphere, of course, is unwrapped. You make a new texture. You have to select, I think, the texture node so that it is highlighted, so that the bake can know that it has to apply the texture, the bake, basically onto this texture image. You select it, and then you hit bake after you've set the bake type to emit, and then it should work. Okay. Hopefully that solves your problem. Oh, hello. Why is it on Eevee? No, it's not. The texture shouldn't matter. Of course, it's only gonna work from the angle that you've set. I don't know what you want to use it for, but as long as you look from the same angle, you won't have any stretching. It's just gonna look like just like a circle with like a flat image on it, or pattern. Okay. Let's go ahead and look a little bit closer into some lighting setups. So what do we need? Oh, we could probably bring everything down to the minimum in terms of subdivisions, just to make it easier on ourselves. Lighting, okay. Cubes, we need the cubes, of course. Set this to 1 as well, just to make it easier. There you go. Yeah, I think the texture shouldn't matter. Okay. Let's go to rendered. There you go. So the good thing is if we use an HDRI, because of my world settings. Oh, it worked? Nice. Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, my pleasure. Yeah, if you have any questions, maybe I can help you. Yeah, this I've tried the baking once, and it was very helpful. So it wasn't that hard to figure out. I mean, it wasn't that hard to replicate what I've done last time. I think maybe the problem was that you had to select the image texture. Maybe you just baked it, but into the nothingness, so the texture didn't work. I don't know. Okay, so okay, so let's go through some lighting settings. The good thing is now that I've so my background settings are set so that I can disconnect my look, so the background look, the background color from the background lighting, meaning the lighting will still be this HDRI, but the camera will see this black color. Meaning if I plug this HDRI into the camera view as well, you can see the HDRI in the background. That's how I set up my world lighting, so I can have both. I have good lighting and also just like a plain gray background, for example. So we could either maybe start off with an HDRI, which could work to set up like this, to set the stage for something, to just have good reflections in the gold or reflective pieces. Or what we could do is we could do everything with manual lighting. So we could maybe go through a few of these first and then maybe see if one of them looks good. I think I want to have studio lighting might be too how do you say it, too sterile. It's too clean. So I'm just gonna go through a few HDRIs just to see if we might get a good, I guess, beginning, and then we can go a little bit more into it, or if we just go fully without any HDRI. This one is very flat. I wonder why. Is it the material itself? Maybe we should make it a little bit darker, because this is very white, this material. You can see it right here. If we decrease, I think, this color, we get a darker sculpt, do we? No. Then we have to change this one. 0.3. Wait, what? One of them has to change. That's weird. Oh, it's the roughness. Oh, that's it. There you go. What do we need? Color ramp, noise, texture. Oh, this one. Wait, where's my color? What do we have here? Oh, those are all the color changes. Where's the beginning color? Oh, this one, right? Yeah. There you go. That's too dark. It's so shiny. I think we have to make it less shiny, otherwise it's gonna look weird. Let's go ahead into the roughness, maybe change it a little bit. Maybe 2.5. Okay. Although, let's set it to 0.4. Like a good middle ground between shiny and, I guess, not so shiny, rough. Okay. So. This one is definitely too gray, so we have to push it up again. Is there subsurface scattering enabled? No, it looks like it is. It's so washed out. I wonder why. Is there depth of field enabled? Maybe. Nope, it is not. So I guess that's just the lighting. Because if we use another lighting, we can see more details. For example, if we use this one, you can see actually... Oh, I know why. Because this is like super soft right now. The sculpt itself is super soft. So if we increase this, at least to... Yeah, that's probably better. Okay. I think I want to make a fully... I guess a fully... like manual lighting setup. I want to drink something real quick and then we're going to go into it. Okay. So, yep, it's for the 3D modeling category. Welcome, Gaurav. Hope you enjoyed your day so far. We're almost done. We're currently working on the preparation, or we are preparing the model for the render. So let's look up a few, I guess, professional lighting setups. Photography lighting setups. Oh, we have a whole list here. Let's see. Are you participating as well? Oh, that's too small, is it? I can't even see it. Yeah, that's too small. Oh. Why would you make an image? Oh, okay, now that works. Okay. Oh, 3D animation. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna finish the piece probably on Saturday. Which means we're also gonna go through all the, or like, we're gonna go through the submissions, look at them, get some inspiration maybe even for the future. Maybe we're gonna see yours as well. Okay. So there's a nice cheat sheet, or like, I guess, yeah, cheat sheet with a few setups. Maybe we find something that looks interesting. We can maybe, we don't have to like, we could maybe go from looks first, and then maybe we can see something that entices us. We could try. I think having one side like very dark doesn't really work with our model, just because it's too, it hides like half of the model, which doesn't really work if you want to show off the whole thing. Two lights coming from the front, I think that's two. Okay, this one looks weird. Yeah, we're definitely gonna look into it on Saturday. I'm excited to see all the submissions. Okay. One coming from the front might work. That's coming from the right side butterfly. Position one light above. Okay, well. So the way this could work is it kind of highlights, or it gives good shadows, because the light is coming from the top. You can really see the all the movement. Maybe not the movement, for example, that you can see in here. Loop with a background light. You can see, for example, here you can see this I guess forehead muscle, which you can't really see with this lighting setup. But maybe it could work for the one that we are looking for. This one could work as well, although we have like this dark spot right there again. What does this one look like? This one's too white, I think. This one's too bright, especially because we have so many, I guess, white materials. Key and fill. Yeah, this one basically is just like highlighting one side and then brightening the other side. So I think the one that we have set up already is this one. Key, fill, and hair light, basically a contour light in the back. Then two lights, one to create highlights and then the other one to lighten up the other side. You know what I'm gonna try? I'm actually gonna use a different lighting. What we've done... Oh, hello. What we've done for the current lighting setup that we have... Hold on, let me go through them. Let's remove this. So the current lighting setups that you have only point lights. Maybe area lights might work better, especially considering the reflections. So this one's the one that we have set up before, like the main lighting. We also had the backup lighting right there. In hindsight, I think I like this one more, but we'll maybe create a few more. I don't know why, but this gold looks weird. Maybe that's just in the render or in the in this view. Okay. I also want to make the background black. Why is it gray? Is it not? Oh, there you go. Maybe not full black, but let's keep it at point. What was it? 0.001. Like this. We're gonna bring in a background anyway. I don't know if that works. I think if you leave a link, it's just gonna remove it. I think it's like an automatic like deletion process. I don't know if that works. That's the problem. Is there a name that I could write down? Or do you have to like give it a name? So let's try another lighting system or lighting setup. This one actually works quite well with the reflections as well, but it still looks kind of weird. I think this is too rough. Hold on. Is that a separate gold material? Gold cup? Oh, it is. Okay, perfect. So we could maybe even make the roughness a little bit, I guess, shinier. Okay, well, that doesn't work because we have to change this one. There you go. If you put it to 0, that's too much. .05 might work. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at 0.05 for now. Okay, so let's try another lighting setup, but now not with light. What is it? point lights, but actually with area lights. Let's make a new collection. There you go. Call it lighting 3. Okay, so let's use area lights. There you go. Maybe even spotlights. Where's my light? There it is. No, where's my light? Oh, it's hidden. There you go. Okay. So we could first of all decide maybe where the focus should lie, whether it should be in the center, whether it should be on one of the sides. So we have one darker side, one brighter side. We could also look at some, I guess, inspiration or some reference from the references we've gathered from other artists. Let's do that real quick. I think we've done that before as well, but yeah, we can look at it again and just maybe get like a new idea of what we could do. This one, for example, is like, oh, I can I? Yeah, I can. This one, for example, is the original, where the light is coming from the top, which actually comes from the upper left, or from her view, upper right. Let's see what that looks like. If you pull that all the way up there, maybe even higher, right there. And then we have to increase the strength. Let's put it to 1000 first so we can actually see it. Okay, this one gives us good highlight, or like good shadows. It very accentuates the form. For example, you can see the shadow on both eyes. You can see a good, like you can see the structure of the eye. You can see the structure of the mouth. What I'm basically looking for is if you would blur this image, could you still see the structure, and like could you still see the natural forms? This one looks quite well, like works quite well, even with the cloth. Maybe this one is quite shallow in terms of depth, but that's okay because it's like just rather flat. We of course can also increase the size so we get smoother shadows, but that's kind of weird, so I'm gonna bring it back. Okay. What if we pull it down here? Move it up. There you go. What if we make this one very, very bright? You can see now a good reflection on the side of the leaves as well. Maybe this one can be a little bit, I guess, weaker, maybe 500. Yeah, I wish you good luck as well. I'm definitely gonna... Are there like... I think there were like 4,300 submissions in the 3D category. Have you looked into how many there are for 3D animations? Probably not as many, because it probably, I don't know, requires more knowledge maybe. Okay. So this light I kind of like, because now we have this nice reflection in these leaves as well, which is very good, because otherwise if we remove this light, we can see it's just pure black on the side, which looks weird. So I kind of want to put something in there. So why not a light? That's the only real way how we can, yeah. How we can make them like more visible. Yeah, I'm excited to look at all of them. Just see what others, like what other ideas, because the topic was so broad. You can do so much with the topic. That is kind of interesting to see what others came up with. Oh, I like this. I like this. So now that I've put the light behind her, we also accentuate her left side a little bit more, like the structure. You can see a nice, like, brighter spot not only on her jaw or her cheek, no, rather her jaw, but also on her neck. And there's like this smaller gray between the two, so you can actually see the distinction between the two shapes. Now if you put also, maybe, hold on. Now we could probably grab this as well and put it on the other side. Oh. I think I should use area lines a little bit more. They actually work quite well. This one can be stronger to be like the key light. We can also increase its size to make the key light softer. So if you make it very, very small, you can see the edge is very, very sharp, especially on the body right there. If we increase the size, you see it gets softer. Let's see what looks best. If you want to move the light around a certain point, you could most likely just use the 3D cursor, because it's like, for example, for me, it's pretty spot on where it's supposed to like rotate around. If you want to place your 3D cursor somewhere, you can just press shift and then right click, which places the 3D cursor where you have your mouse, on the surface that is underneath your mouse. Even just changing from where the light is coming can accentuate the shape in different ways. This way, for example, coming rather straight or horizontal, you can see it kind of highlights the cheek a little, or like the jaw a little bit more on the side. If you pull it up, you can see it highlights more of the gold, actually. You can see, oh yeah, I think I like it from up top like that, because then you see a nice reflection on the gold. What is it, laurel wreath? That's a weird name. Maybe we could even add 2. Maybe that's too much. Let's see. That might be too much. We'll see. Let's put it down here. Then hide it. So I like this highlight at the bottom there. That's what I like. The problem is that I want to see if it changes the phase. It adds a little bit more there, which could work. I think it works. Maybe we could even move this a little bit. Hold on. Oh, this one's cool. More moody. We could maybe make this even bigger a little bit. There you go. That's pretty cool, I think. I think that's a cool setup, especially because we have this nice reflection in the laurels, in the leaves. What if we make it stronger? What about 2000? Is that too much? What about 10,000? Okay, let's bring in the false color so we can see where we lose detail. Vicente, do you remember when the drop came? It's still at 0.4%. I don't know if the delays have like increased, but yeah. Maybe we've already passed the point of the drop. That would be good. Then we know that at least the, what is it? The Norwegian server is pretty good. Okay, hold on. Gorath. Oh yeah, because you have to upload it to YouTube, right? Yeah, when it like dropped yesterday. Oh. The next step would probably be to try and use the Norwegian Norwegian server without the what is it, the drop prevention. Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on. We're gonna look at it now. Does it have music? Hold on. Oh, it does. I don't know if it's DMCA or not. Doesn't seem like there's like real music though. Is it? Oh, it is. Okay, we probably have to play it without the music. Okay. Let's look at your submission. There it is. Okay, let's see. So the topic was, what was it? Technology meets aesthetics. So let's see. Did you use Eevee or cycles? It looks like cycles because there's like noise in the background. Or is it displacement? I don't really see it. Oh, there you go. Well, I can hear it, right? You can. Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you've implemented the logo as well. Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh. Yeah. Nice waves. Okay. Oh, so you've basically replaced these candle lantern floaty things with the actual like technology rotor drones or whatever. Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah. I wonder, did you, so, hold on, I have to look at it again. Looks really, really cool. I like the concept and the overall look. I like the environment in general. Like, that you've not only, like, that you've actually, like, made a full environment, not only, like, maybe you've, yeah, I don't know. The environment looks good. That's what I want to say. This is cool. I wonder how you did that. So there's a switch. I want to analyze this real quick. So there's a switch that I can see. right there. You try to blend it, of course. If you see it for the first time, you can not really, you maybe see it in the back of your head. You might recognize it, or like, yeah, there it is, like this morph transition. There you go. Zip. So yeah, that's probably just another scene, just so you don't have to render everything at once. That could probably be just like a maybe just a misplaced camera that you try to transition to. I don't know. That kind of, yeah. But then you get to this, which is still a 3D texture, or a 3D, what is it? A 3D, is it? Hold on, is it a 3D? Either it is like an image where you have like a camera looking at it and you have like a noise modifier applied to it, so it kind of jiggles around. I was wondering if the lights have like this parallax effect where they like move over each other. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you try to cover it with like a transition, okay, like a morph. So, okay, so I want to figure out how you made this. So one idea that I would have how you could have made this is that this is basically just a you rendered the lights with and without everything, like all of the lights on, and then you used maybe a video texture as a mask, so that only where the dragon comes through you can see the lights lit up. Or you maybe use something like geometry nodes, or what is the other one, weight painting with object proximity. Like, there you go. Those are my three options: either a texture on like a rendered image, proximity, weight painting, or geometry nodes. It looks very cool. I like the idea. Let's go through it again. There are like a few sudden movements right there. Maybe that's I guess that's like because of I think you've made a smooth camera transition. I think that's you wouldn't just like move it further down, but maybe there's, I don't know. Then you have him. Okay. Going through the grass. Okay. There's some emotional music in the background as well. You have to imagine, not like the music you're listening to right now, or we. I wonder how you move them all together. Because you can't just animate all of them. So maybe you've used geometry nodes there as well, maybe with some sort of randomness, so they don't move, they don't all move in the same pace. Maybe using particles would probably be weird. You have two just acting up here, or one more there. Okay, so this can actually not be a texture. Oh, you can? Wait, what? Oh, because of the audio output. Okay, well, never mind. Okay, cool. I like it. I think what you could have, so maybe we could give you some, I guess, Proportion editing. Oh, okay. So, okay. So you just move one of them, all of them. Okay, yeah, that's smart. That's pretty simple then. Oh, there's another one as well. Okay, we're gonna look through them on Saturday. But yeah, we've seen one already. Like this one. Looks cool. I like it. Dilly. Okay, let's go through it one more time. Hold on. Yeah, I still wonder how you did the dragon animation. Looks very cool. I like it. Okay. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, let's finish the lighting. Yeah, it looks really cool. I like it. I'm not an expert for animations, but I can appreciate good animations. Or at least, yeah, good animations. I want to do more animations in the future. I've maybe done like one or two. I've never really used used Roberto for animations really. Which is actually like, which was like his main goal, like to use him for that. UV projected. Yeah. Wait, the dragon is just a green screen animation. Yeah, it's like a video texture, I guess. UV projected on the emissive spheres inside the lamps. So you UV unwrap them from the camera view, so that when you put the video texture on it, yeah, it works, I guess. Looks cool, That was a cool idea. What is it? There it is. False color. What do you mean? Okay, do we lose? Oh, we lose some detail here. So maybe 10,000 might be too much. Do we? Yeah, we do. That's better. But what is white? Oh, this looks cool. Cool color scheme. Sorry, I'm not gonna misuse your name ever again, okay? I'm sorry. I'll apologize. Maybe I'll even do like an animation for my 3D piece as well, just like as a showcase. I think that would look cool. I like the look of this, but I'm not gonna use it like this, but I like the look. But I don't really even know what white means. If that is just like fully exposed, or if that's something else. I mean, we could probably go into like closer and see if that is overexposed. It seems like it is. You can't really see any detail in here. Oh, you can, but it's still too bright, I think. Maybe switching it, making it more like a oh, it's 57,000. Well, hold on. Now it should be better. Yeah, that's good. That's what I like. Oh, we could also switch them to round. Let's see if the look of, like, if the reflection look changes if we switch them from square to ellipse. No, not really. Oh, yeah. Is it the one with these individual lamps that then work together to create like a full sign? I think I've seen that before, but I forgot it. It's been a long time. I'm gonna leave it like this. Okay. I think that's a good lighting setup. It's pretty bright though. Maybe we could dial down like the overall lighting. Maybe we could switch this to maybe more like 5,000. Oh, not 50,000. What if we remove it? Oh. Yeah, I've seen that before, but yeah, maybe I'll check that out. Maybe that's going to be helpful in the future. What if this one is actually not the brightest one? What if this one's 500? What if this one is just like 250? Okay, well that's weird. No, that doesn't work. Let's see if we can do a quick render. Maybe we can bust out a quick render. Hold on. I'm gonna save it real quick. Set maybe the resolution to 50%. Also 128, let's set that to 64. I just want to do a quick render to kind of get a feel of what it's looking like without the noise. 50%. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how long it's going to take. Oh. Test bake. Oh, I also want to decrease the level for this retopology model. There you go. For render 3, 2, 1. The cup as well. 3, 2, 1. I just have to remember to change it later. Okay. Oh. Okay. Which is it? The render was my render. Oh. So I think I'm gonna leave it, like I'm gonna keep this lighting setup. I think I like it quite a lot, especially because the reflections look very good. Hold on. So maybe we can go into more tips and tricks that I can give you to make your render more, make it look more interesting. We have some more time, so we can go into that. We're gonna do a quick render though. Let's see how long it's gonna take. And then we can go into, I guess, Blender post-process. Oh, it actually is quite fast. Oh, that's like 20 seconds. Oh, nope, that's not right. Hold on. Okay. Let's try again. There you go. I think I'm gonna do like, oh, we also have to set up like a few different lighting setups. Maybe one without the legs, then one with the full body, one with the maybe with some details as well. Okay. So let's go into the post-processing. So let's add the glare node to make it look way better. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, that's bright. Okay. Wait, what? Why is it so bright? Are the lights so bright? Okay, well, but about 10? 100? Nope, 10. Okay, that's crazy. Okay. That's interesting. It's a weird reflection or a weird glow. I wonder why. Why it looks so weird. I wonder why. Yeah, so if the Norwegian server, it's right now at 0.4%. So maybe if I maybe tomorrow I'll try it without the what is it, the drop frame setting. Maybe we can reduce the latency, which maybe increases the drop frames a little bit, but I think like a 10-second latency is quite a lot. So the problem that I have right now is that the glare node doesn't really work that well. Oh yeah, right. Not tomorrow, but on Saturday. I always forget which day it is. I just think next day, next stream. Okay. So maybe we don't use the glare node, but then I want to use it. What if we render it as a PNG? Then we have less information, less values, or like the values are lower, which maybe cramps down all of them. Let's see, let's try it. Output. Let's use PNG for now. Let's render it again. Okay, so maybe this helps, or this creates... Okay, well, that's still glowy. I wonder why it's so strong, because... that's weird. Maybe we cannot use the glare node in here. If we increase the threshold too much, it's just going to be too strict. So for example, if I set it to 70, there are like very... Oh, hold on. Oh yeah. No, yeah. No, RGBA. Don't troll me. Oh, I have to render it again. Wait, do I? Yeah, let's do it. My previous setting was RGBA and float full with a zip lossless. I don't really need it, but I just keep it there just so I don't forget to, I guess, add it. I don't know. I don't need it here. I think the only difference really is that it would add like more, like a bigger file. Like a bigger file size for the image, but that doesn't really matter right now. So I usually keep it at RGBA so I don't have to think about it when I render the image. And I'm confused why there's no alpha channel or no transparency. Why is it glowing red? Oh, I know why, but why is there only red? Maybe we cannot use the glare node for this piece. I mean, that's also okay. I think it looks pretty good without it, so we don't really need it. I like the lighting setup, especially because we have this nice highlight right there. This looks way more natural right now, or like, yeah, in general. We have two nice lights right there. We have a nice transition between dark and bright on this. We have a nice light here. We also have one right there in the background. You see the contour. You can see a nice structure there, and the face is already also pretty good. We can see like a shadow right there. You have like nice shadows for the facial structure. You can see everything very clear, and you have nice reflections in the laurel as well. So I kind of like this. So if you ever want to copy this, you have this lighting setup. You have a light coming from the top. All of them are area lights. One that is like this one is the main light. That's the key light with 4000. Of course, these values depend on the size of the scene. 500, this one's weaker, just to bring in a little bit more brightness here. Then we have a very strong, 1500 from back there, and a 1500 from down there as well, to put in a highlight right there and the highlights up there. Okay, so let's add more. Let's go back to the render. I actually wanted to show you one more thing, because the background is just plain gray right now. It looks weird, or at least I want to bring something in to make it look, or at least I want to see if it looks good if we add like a studio background to it. Usually if you add like a studio background, you would just grab, for example, like a plane, then you would go ahead and extrude this up. You would then either use like a subdivision modifier, or you would just like bevel it to have this nice studio backdrop. But I think you can make a better one. You don't use this flat surface. You actually create a sphere around the object. So if we grab a UV sphere, make it bigger. Ooh, there you go. Then you smooth it so there are no edges. You can see we already, with just this very plain setup, we have a transition from darker gray to brighter gray. If we now set this to a gray color, hold on. Object, new. So if we now set this to a darker color, like this very dark gray, even darker. Wait, how dark can we get? Oh, hold on. Roughness full, specularity 0. Oh. Okay. I have to choose a few changes. Hold on. Do we need specularity? Yeah, like a little bit, maybe 0.1. This way we can also get a gray background, but we can customize it a little bit more. For example, we can give it... Wait, is there subdivisions on it? Wait, I used a sphere, right? I needed a cube. There you go. So, let's bring in the same material. There you go. Now we can customize the background a little bit more. For example, we could grab this edge right here. First of all, what I'm going to do to actually see into the cube, there's a small little trick you can use. If you use the setup, you can go into the viewport shading and enable backface culling. This helps, or what that does is if you look, so a face is either facing in this direction or in this direction. If you look at a face and you look at the back of the face, basically where it's like not facing to, if the face is not facing you, then you look through it. That's what backface culling means. So we can see right there, this is a solid surface. The faces look into our direction. If we go into the sphere, you can see the sphere is gone because we don't see the back of the faces. That's what back face culling does. So what we can do is we can go in here and just flip the whole normal. The normals, basically where the faces are looking to. If we do that, we can see through the first half of the sphere, but not the other one. This way we can see into the scene, but still see the structure, I guess, of the sphere. So we can still change it, but we can also see through. So now we can kind of manually adjust it to see what fits best. Just see what changes do, and maybe see if we can find a good, nice background to use. We pull this forward, we can see this is gets brighter. We pull it back, we can see it gets darker. And this way we can make a more refined background rather than using the studio light. Which also gives us, I think in my opinion, better reflections. We can also like create a ground plane, pull this up. To create this classic studio look, like lighter on the ground, darker on the top. Okay, let's see. What if we pull this up? This doesn't really change much. What if we pull this back? You can see it gets darker the higher it goes. Maybe let's use that. We can also then grab this. Oh, grab. Oh, grab this. We could also then pull this up. We can't go too high, otherwise we can see the ground, like, I guess, being part of the image. That's probably the maximum, because you can see the light actually intersecting with the ground. Oh. That's pretty cool. You have this nice transition from dark to... No, from bright to dark, from bottom to top. We can also change the... if we change the specularity, we will change the... I guess the brightness of the surface. Specularity basically means... So roughness means how precise or how much the light that is hitting the surface will be diffused, basically spread into multiple directions. For a mirror, basically, or for a mirror, you shoot the light onto the mirror, the surface of the mirror, and then it's going to just shoot straight back without any other like direction changes. If you have a very rough surface, what it does is it's going to enter, or it's going to hit the surface. It's going to spread into multiple, and it's going to go into multiple directions. That's what diffusion means. Basically, just one light stream going on the surface, hitting it, then I think going into the surface, coming out again, and then spreading into multiple directions. The mirror basically just throws it back, or aluminum foil as well. So if we go in here and change the specularity, what that does, the specularity is used for the intensity, or how much of the reflection is absorbed. Meaning if you shoot a stream of light onto this hand, for example, and the specularity would be 0, there would be no light coming back because everything is absorbed. If you have it at 0.5, like half of it will be brought back, or like thrown back at you. If it's 1, everything, like the whole, like the same intensity that you've thrown onto the surface will be thrown back to you as well. So if you change the specularity something lower, you can see that it gets darker. Oh. So the darker or the lower this value, the darker the background. This way we can create a nice gradient, which means this one up there is darker, down there is brighter. Yeah, we can create a nice gradient. I think a gradient looks better than just a plain black or gray or whatever. Of course, we can also scale this like closer together. Maybe this creates a cool look. We can experiment with this. That doesn't really look like anything to me. Okay, well let's not do that. Okay, yeah, but I think I like it. I think I like it like that way. It has like, it stands out like a lot from the background, which is like the main, I guess, the main point that I wanted to get to. Okay. So let's add one more thing. So I'm actually quite curious if that is necessary, although I'm going to show you what I mean with adding air particles into the scene, or like, yeah, particles flying in the air. So what we need for that is, first of all, I'm going to make a new collection for that, which will be called air particles. So this works, for example, for, I'm going to show you where I used it on. There it is. So I'm going to achieve something similar to this one here. Oh, wait, where's my, oh, there it is. So I want to achieve something similar to this one, where you can see not only like her, but you can also see these lights, or these, I guess, pollen or whatever, these air particles flying in the air. The good thing with those is that they create a certain depth of field, or they create a certain feeling of depth, I guess. Because the closer the particles are, the blurrier they get, because I'm going to bring in depth of field as well. So the closer they are to the camera, the blurrier they get, and the closer they are to the object or the focus point, the more in focus they are, which creates a certain feeling of depth, and also just adds a little bit of like magic into the scene. Makes it look a little bit more natural, in my opinion, because there's usually always like a little bit of, or it might be like a stylistic choice. It's not like super realistic. If you, for example, look at the what was it, the photo, this one, for example, you don't really see any like air particles, but I think I have a pretty good example where they can be very helpful. I've recreated one of my old projects, like a living room, where I actually used the same technique. This one. Do I have one with the lights? No, I don't. Okay. So with this one, you can see, if you go closer to the lights, you can see these strings flying in the air. Those are air particles that I've added into the scene. I think if you look at, for example, your camera, wherever your camera is, sometimes you see these small little hairs flying through the air. That's what you can add with these air particles. You have to add quite a few, or quite a lot, to really get that effect to work. But if you want to like go very, very detailed, you can add them and get these nice strings in the air to create this, yeah, just add a little bit more detail to your scene. So that's what I want to add to this one as well. Let's see what if it looks good, or if it just distracts from the main, I guess, subject. How you use them is pretty simple. The technique is pretty simple. I probably use it every time that I create an image, or almost all the time. Especially in the quick sketches, I use it a lot. There you go. So what we need is a cube. Pull it down. We're gonna engulf her in the cube. Wait, did I? Oh no. Okay. Wait. Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay. There you go. So we're gonna cover her in the box of particles. We're gonna set this to. We could do the same technique that we used for the sphere, but I'm gonna do it I'm gonna set it to wire so we can like perfectly see through. And then if we add, hold on. no, the cubes are just for for the live stream. I'm gonna remove them in the final render. Those are just so you so it's not like on Twitch you can't show nudity, or on YouTube probably also, except for when it's natural, I think. So I just put them there to hide the breasts, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna remove them once I'm gonna do the final render. What is going on here? Oh, there it is. Is there... What is going on? Did I hit the space button? What is going on? Is there like an animation going? There you go. Why is it playing? What did I hit? Okay, there you go. Okay, that's the first look. Okay, we actually have like two poses already. We have this one and we have this one. Nope, this one. So what I do to create different shots, I guess, for the camera, what I did back in the days, I would just add multiple cameras to create multiple shots, of course. But the easiest way probably to do it would just be to keyframe your camera. So you would keyframe them on frame 1. Then you would move the camera to, or you would go to frame 2, and then you would move the camera, put in new keyframes. You can do that by just right-clicking the values, and then replace keyframe or like set keyframe. And then if you switch to the next frame, you can see the position changes. This way you can use the same camera for multiple camera angles. And you can even just hit render animation and it renders all of them at once. So, where's my box? There it is. Okay, so what this needs is, first of all, a... Oh, no. Everything that we need is an air particle, I guess. So what we could use is probably just like a... What I usually use is like a UV sphere. Of course, for the living room scene, I haven't used a sphere. I've used like a plane that I've displaced a little bit. But I'm gonna just use a sphere for this. We could probably... I'm gonna make a new one because I want to reduce the amount of, I guess, vertices or geometry that it has. The density is too high. I think like 16 works as well. 16 and 8. Maybe even less. What about 8 and 4? Oh, wait, what happened? Oh, hold on. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. Hold on, I have to bring everything back. I have to rebuild the whole thing. There you go. Okay. So now that this has less geometry, we can actually use this. I'm gonna make it smaller. We don't really have to though. Let's just put it like this. Make it smooth. And then we go into the cube. We make a new particle setting. We set the frame start and frame end setting to 1. This way all the particles are in the first frame. This particle system might not work if you use like this keyframe system for different camera angles, although they shouldn't move that much, the particles. You could also just set the force field setting, no, the field weights from gravity to 1 to 0. You should then, like if you want to use multiple keyframes, you also need to, hold on. I think you also have to remove the velocity, the start velocity, 0. This way, the particles shouldn't move even if you change the position of the camera. You can see right there, the camera switched. You can see if I move like further in the timeline, all the particles remove, like hide or like dissolve at some point, because the lifetime is at 50. So 50 frames long will the particles survive. We don't need to make 50 images, so that's okay. So How do we remove the box? We just go into render first of all. We should set the tick box show emitter off, and we do the same for the viewport display as well. This way we don't have any, the box is gone. Now we just have to add the particles. How do we add the particles? We go into, first of all, we can set the number, but what we can also do is we can go into the render settings. We can go from halo to object. Now we go into instance object, select the sphere, and now the halos, the particles have been replaced by the sphere. You can see them flying in the air now. You can also change, for example, the scale right here, render object scale. We can make them smaller, for example, or what we can also do, we can increase the randomness, which basically just means that you increase the spectrum. So the scale is basically the base scale, and then if you increase the scale randomness, you increase the spectrum where you can like how high the spectrum is that the scale can vary. Coming back to randomness, whether it is like actual randomness or not is debatable, but yeah. So now you can see they're all scattered or all placed on the face. So what we have to change is we have to put them into the volume, into the box. Not on the box, but into the box. That's where the source comes in. We go from emit from faces to emit from volume. And they go. Now they're all in the center, flying there like small little snowflakes. So of course this is way too big, so we can still do a few changes. For example, going into the scale, we can make it smaller, maybe like 3.3. Maybe even like just 1.3. We can of course change like the material as well. We could make this gold. Let's see what it looked like when it's gold. Bones, okay. What is bones? Oh, I know what. Cover gold. Oh, flying, small little flying gold, gold particles. Yeah, and that's how you add like the small little particles that fly in the air. We could, for example, now go ahead and make them even smaller. We could also we could, for example, if this sphere wouldn't be like round, we could also go into the like rotation, the particle rotation. You can enable that. If the sphere isn't round, you can randomize the rotation as well, just to make them not. If they're not random, they would all just look in the same direction, which would look unnatural. So if you want to randomize the rotation as well, you can go to randomize, zip, and now they're all random in terms of their rotation as well. But of course the sphere is round, so you don't see the changes. You can also set the orientation axis in here as well. We don't need the rotation, so I'm just going to untick it. So I wonder if that helps, or if that kind of adds like a small little layer to it. Of course, what I want to do is I want to increase the size so that it engulfs the whole camera as well, to create this sense of depth. Not only by using the blurriness of the depth of field, but also because the particles that are closer to the camera get bigger. So now the whole scene is engulfed in particles. If they're too small, or if they're too... If the amount isn't enough, we can go to the number and set this higher. What if we... Oh, before I do that, I want to save. What if we set this to 5,000? Yeah, now we can just see more spheres. Or, yeah, more particles. I'm kind of debating whether or not I want to keep this. Or if you want to do it very, like, without it. Clean, basically. Maybe I'll do 2 renders, and then we can just decide which one looks better. I guess that's what we can do. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Clean. Yeah, it has a very... Yeah, I'm just gonna do 2 renders, and then we can decide on Saturday. Yeah. Before we end the stream, because it's quite late already, we're gonna do a quick, I guess, what is it? We're gonna keyframe the camera to have multiple shots. The problem is, if we use the camera, only this one, we have only one. Wait. So the problem, of course, is in this shot, maybe we want to have like 1:1 ratio images. Maybe we would have like 1920 by 1080 ratio images. Right now we have a 1080 by 1920 ratio image. Not ratio, but aspect ratio. Yeah, that's ratio. Okay, well. Oh, hold on. I know why it's so bright. I've brought back all the lighting scenes. There you go. So if we use this high format thingy, high, I don't know, like this format, we can only use this format because if we change the dimensions, if we change them globally, I don't think you can create what is it? You can create local cameras. I think there's a setting for that, but I don't know if you can. Hold on, let me see. Can you keyframe the resolution? No, you can't. That would be cool. Well, too bad. Portrait mode. You mean this one? Yeah, I think that fits very, like it's very fitting for this sculpt. The problem is, if I want to do like a photo like this, I think like a wide, or like at least like a 1:1 ratio would be better, rather than having like a portrait mode camera. Yeah, I guess we could do a few, just to I guess show what I mean with keyframing the camera. We could do a few shots, and then we're gonna call it here. I'm gonna probably do a few more detailed shots off stream, so we can then go into post-processing on Saturday. Let's save, and then let's do a few keyframes. So this one's the first one. Unfortunately, we cannot name the cameras or the keyframes. Can we put in some flags or something? No, I don't. Marker? Oh, hold on. How can I change the marker name? Marker? Okay, well, now there's a marker. I don't really know what that does, but it's there. I can move it. Can I rename it? No. Okay. All right, let's do a few shots. So the first one is just going to be the key shot, I would call it, or the money shot. Let's do one with the full body. We're just going to go into the solid mode because we don't really need to see the like the full color and all that. If we have to change, or if we pull the camera too far back, we might intersect with the wall, which means we will only see black. To fix that, we can just pull this further back. Although, yeah, if we make a new thingy right there, that should work. Hopefully that didn't screw up the whole scene. Yeah, it looks pretty good. There you go, now we have some room, some playroom. Okay, let's do a shot for the full body, which will be frame 2. Right now we're at, we have this shot there. So what we can do is we can go into the transformations. We can delete the keyframes in here as well. Wait, delete, clear, not clear. Oh, no, never mind. Wait. Okay, I made a mistake. There you go. Okay, perfect. It's reset. So let's do one for the full body. Which means I guess we just go back. We have to also pull back or push down the focus point, which we can also keyframe. Maybe this is enough, maybe a little bit more. Maybe even pull it down a little bit. Zip. There you go. Replace keyframe. Nope, we have to. Oh, I made a mistake. We have to go to keyframe 2 and then we have to do the same. We have to move it. Maybe even lower. There you go. Then insert keyframes. If you say insert keyframes, it's going to insert keyframes for all 3 vectors. If you say insert single keyframe, you're just going to insert it for 1. Do we need the rotation? No, we don't. But then what we can do is we can go into the focus point. We can say insert keyframe, go to the second frame, move it down so it fits the whole subject. Oh, this might be too little, so we have to move the camera even further back. Insert keyframe. Now we have 2 shots. We can move this further back just a little bit to have some more room. There you go. Let replace keyframes. No, yeah, replace. Yeah, there you go. I think the rotation is also, there's a slight rotation in the camera, which I kind of want to remove. Although this looks, no, I want to keep it like this. Insert, I think I can clear these. Yeah. Let's see what it looks like without the rotation. Does it look worse or does it look better? I think it's okay without. It's kind of off center though. So we have to move this over a little bit. What we can do to kind of center it perfectly, we can go into the camera settings. We can go into viewport display, composition guides, and then we have a few composition guides, which don't really work apparently. I guess we have to go into rendered view. Oh, I know why. We have to enable the overlays. Now if we bring in the composition guides, we can see them. Thirds, center, diagonal, ratio. Let's use thirds. Let's put the face right, or the head right in between the 2. Let's see if that is in the center. The problem is if we... Oh, that's the wrong direction. So we actually have to move it to the other side. Like that. That looks pretty good. There you go. Okay, let's replace keyframe. There you go. So we have 2 shots, one right there, one right there. I'm gonna do some more where I bring the camera closer to the subject, maybe like over here, and then I also enable depth of field so we can, yeah, get this macro shot feeling for these closer renders. Yeah, I'm gonna do some renders and then we can work on them on Saturday. Maybe we can even, maybe I'll work a little bit more on the cloth on Friday, but it's gonna be not long enough to really be streamable, just like a little bit. Or either we do post-processing on Saturday or we do it on Sunday. Because I still want to put a little bit more effort into the, or a little bit more detail into the cloth. I like how defined this part is. So I don't know. Oh, also, if you want to keep the lighting, but you want to show the other side of the subject, I guess, you cannot just rotate the camera around the subject. What you have to do is you have to rotate the subject itself. Otherwise, it's just gonna, I guess, change the lighting. For example, you could see if you go to rendered view in here, you can see the lighting is cool. Lighting looks just how it's supposed to be. Like this, perfect. But then if you go to the back, you see everything looks way different. Super bright, super, I guess, shallow, just because the lighting is set up that way. If we want to move, or if you want to have the same lighting that you have right now in the front, in the back as well, you have to rotate the subject rather than the camera. Yep. Is there anything else? I think that's all. I think now we have a prepared model for the render, except for the cloth. And maybe we could remove this part as well, or we just make like a full pillar out of it. We'll see. Yeah, but that's gonna wrap up this topic. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so Saturday is definitely going to be a stream. I don't know if it's going to be the last stream about this or not. We're going to see, and yeah, you can probably figure it out when I post the title. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you have a nice rest of your day. Yeah, hope maybe you learned something. I think I even learned something. I think, yeah, like different lighting setups. Yeah, thanks for joining, and take care.